Hello, good evening, scribers and coffers and family. Saturday the 26th of January, the year of our Lord 2019. And I've got some special guests. We've got a special night planned for you. So let me introduce who we have on the panel tonight. The title: An Assembly and Council of Sovereigns, the Alphas have a plan. Um, it is a heavyweight hangout, so I'm just going in my kitchen, give the family a bit of a break. We will introduce Sister Karen first. I've been over there, you know, the channel, what she's currently managing and hosting, Sun and Moon. Sister Karen, very dear to me, good friend, very kind lady. I do classify her as somewhat of as an alpha amongst us with her intellect, line of thought, questioning. She's very good at interviewing, I've noticed, and her intellect is something that I admire. So, hello, thank you, Sister Karen. Over to you.
Hey, hello there. Evening, everybody. Thank you for that lovely intro there, David. But it's likewise family, as you say. You're a really good friend to me. So thank you very much for that.
Yes, we do what we can. Yeah, we don't know everything, but we don't shy away from the life's problems. So yes, I've spoken to you a couple of times about issues that you've had, legal ones. I won't share your data, but yeah, it is quite complex, isn't it? Life sometimes, and
Well, that new one, the universal credit's horrible. I couldn't do it. I just tried and I didn't like the whole thing. And they've got computer systems. They want to take pictures of you front, sideways. They're just like, oh my goodness. And then so many people moan about it. They want you in the job centre. They want you doing this. They want you doing that.
very invasive, isn't it? You told me, yes, I remember you telling me about you and your friend and issues at hand and lack of payments and confusion and agents not getting dates right, and even such instances as man is so honourable when you've gone down and you've gone onto the laptop computer and you've applied for the credits. What I'm hearing is you put down the date where you would like to get the credits from. So yesterday you lost your job and today you're applying for credits, and then they ask when you last got paid, and you'll get paid in 4 weeks' time because you work
Six.
you get you work 4 or so many weeks in front, and because you get paid when you apply for the credits, they say that you're not due any kind of money because you've been paid, but you've been paid for arrears work, and this whole system is very
You have to wait
non.
6 weeks
Oh,
on that thing.
yeah, we've got the principal executive, Theresa May of the United Kingdom, and and her, and Amber Rudd, and I won't get into all the particulars, but it's something that's very near and dear to me. This policy subject, the executive, and the way that it's run, and they're procrastinating live on TV on news stories. Though I do give you that they are stories saying that there is nobody waiting for money, and I've heard it come out of Theresa May's own mouth where she's been questioned and pulled up on it, saying that she's causing harm, injury, loss, and furthermore damages to families right now at Christmas. The ship is out, the hard ship was out. So, yeah, it is quite upsetting and very real to hundreds of thousands of families. And we are aware that we're going to roll out the benefits into.
To go on this thing, you have to go and pick a place to do like they want proof that you're who you are. So you have to do it through the post office or the bank, and they do a check. Otherwise, the
Yeah,
post office is pictures.
yeah, it's very impersonal, isn't it? You don't go to a desk and you don't sit down like you would, back in the olden days, as
What
we'll
it
call
says in there is if you
the
haven't got a mobile phone, go and find somebody else's to do it.
Yeah, when we're yeah, you see how you get treated there. You don't get treated like the creditor or like the as king position of which we often compare ourselves to, or the creditor and the settlor, the one that's at the top of the chain of command, where we are somewhat at the mercy of impersonal, improvised machines and jumped up agents with aggressive tones of voice and making out like it's their own money that they're trying to give us, not that we haven't paid into this system via PAYE, NI, and tax contribution systems through our employment, slavery, voluntary servitude, system that we're all in here. So, you know, they don't tell you when you're contributing and taking a tax off you that when you come to need that money, there will be several legal loopholes of which you need to jump through. And if you don't satisfy all these requirements, and that money that you've willingly, voluntarily contributed to HMRC tax,
it's worse than that as well, you know, because
so
what it is beforehand, people might have been a little bit more interested in having tenants that were actually on benefits because the money got paid directly to them. And this benefit, it changes it so that it gets paid to the person. And then because you've waited 6 weeks, everybody's short of money and start spending the money that's supposed to be for their rent. And then they haven't got enough for a rent. And then almost overnight, everybody said, I'll take my house away. I don't want to be a part of that. Because then they might not get paid their rent. So say a year ago, the council would have said, hey, look at the stock of houses we've got. And now they look at it, oh, we've only got a few. For the very reason how they've changed the benefit.
Yeah, there are we have seen there are ways of means of the change in the system since Thatcher and the privatisation back in the early 80s. You know, what's happened to the public sector, and it's a hell of a lot of it has gone private, and we are going into the private now as well. And this hangout is ultimately about going to the private. When we move over to Josh in a bit, we'll emphasise more on that. So yes. Have you got anything else you'd like to say to the subscribers about yourself, or you know, before we move over to the next?
Well, just that I'm Karen. I'm from the Sun and Moon Family United. We stream numerous nights, sometimes like every night almost, and sometimes not so many. But make my own videos. We have a family. We're a platform for people to talk, and you know, because so many people are closed off, we keep it open for everybody right now, whatever they believe. Because at the moment we're at the stage where we can only talk about things. Some people have experiments. Some people it's more for, well, you know, like we had Alex Music Conspiracy today. He's music, isn't he, with a message?
Yeah.
So just being diverse and trying to include as many people as possible that want to come on our channel, including you.
That's what we love about you. Yes, all that. That's why you are, in my eyes, somebody, you know, to value and to respect. And I have spent time with you, and I thought this lady's quite sharp. She's quite deep. And the subjects like law, when we do in this law comparison, and money, financial, banking, civil, criminal, all of these instruments, you know, these aren't easy areas to submerge yourself in, and neither is the area where you are. And to do that many with that many, you know, hosting that many hangouts. I don't do that many. I tell you now, you do more than me, and it's the same deep subject. So I doff my cap.
Yeah, and now I've met you lot.
Yeah, thank you for all that you do, all that your channel does. So that's Sun and Moon. Where
it's the same the other way around, because we can only do this together. You know?
Yeah, indeed. We all have a part to play, and that's another part of this hangout, the council, the assembly of sovereign self-governing. We're now looking to be self-sustaining, protecting, self-protecting, self-sustaining, self-governing. So with that said, we'll move over to what gives us the panel member that gives us now the X factor. That would be brother Josh X. Over to you. Please introduce yourself and say hello to the subscribers.
Thank you for that, mate. Good evening, everybody. I hope you're all well. I am Josh. I'll start by saying I managed to get myself out of the Matrix, out of the rush, about 2.5 years ago. I moved myself out of the country, planted 150 fruit trees, grew all my fruit and vegetables, medicines, sort of disconnected from this paradigm, the Matrix, and connected with the earth. It allowed me so much time to think, figure out lots of things that I couldn't figure out in busyness. And I have many answers that I never had before I do it. So I'm here to try and sort of shine a bit of light on how to exit, and the easiest route for us all. So when we get speaking a bit later on at the right time, I'll be saying my bit. But for now, I study everything I can get my hands on. I've been doing it since I was about 15 years old. And it's time now to make the moves to change the paradigm we exist in. So this is why we're here together tonight. And I'm here specially to talk about freeing ourselves, and any questions that people have and any worries, I can sort of give the answers tonight. So I'll pass it on to the next man, and get the questions in as soon as you can. All right?
Yes, brother. Thank you very much. Let me just tell you, Scribers and fam, he's also a lyrical assassin, in my opinion, because he also has the ability to examine the language and the implied meaning definition. You know, the peer even. And yes, Josh, I'm happy to you know, have you in the family, us in yours and you in ours, and what we can offer
Yeah.
together.
Thank you very much, mate. And I didn't know if I should
Yeah,
touch on
that's
etymology and stuff.
yeah, yeah, you do. You need to, yeah, because that's what we're all about. It's the key,
Okay.
as Andy's gonna, because we lead up to Andy in a minute, and it's all about the verbiage, language, and yeah.
So I've been sort of studying it. Well, personally, the etymology come from within. It's like a new form of etymology that I found out just with numbers, language, and letters. I've been sharing it on the Sun and Moon group with Dave, and I've done a couple of videos with Martin Kenny. I also just studied syncretism. Since coming back to the UK, I've been traveling around in a camper van. I've done that myself, and I've been going up and down the country healing people of all diseases with 100% success rate. I'm personally raw and plant-based. I study astrology, magnetism, and just syncretize everything. You know, I have to have the whole picture for my own personal growth, and this is what I seek. So, yeah, I'm an all-rounder really, and I'm ready to talk about anything.
Oh, bless you. That's
Can I just say, and your little boy says he
many
loves
ailments
me,
of the body as well.
doesn't he, Josh?
Oh,
He loves you, mate. He
Yeah.
loves you.
Yes, a loving
Sweetie pie.
Yeah, it's an example. It's a homage to the settlers. You know, the mum, the father, and the mother. If the, you know, asset to them is you know, acting that way, you know, executing such fine deeds, is expressing love to another, just like that. It only shows you what good work you've put into that little soul there. We'll say, you know, your asset when we speak of our siblings, or you know, in the legal realm they're known as children. We look at forms and variations, but ultimately it's our blood. You know, it's what it takes two to create: the mum, the dad. Nothing to date. The state has no claim on them until we bezel ourselves, you know, with the paperwork and sig nature and sigils and the sig of nature. So, yeah, we'll later down the line, Josh, we'll expand on what we need to with that, with Andy, with whomever. So, yeah, that encapsulates that. He's a good all-rounder, basically, another good all-rounder. Yeah, focused and a doer, an actual doer. That's the difference. The reason why we're all here tonight, and you've accepted to come on, and you've allowed the time to come on, each and every one of you, is because we are all doers. And Andy leads me up to the return of Sovereign Smith. He's been away for a bit. He's been on business, we'll say. Man's back. He's repowered. He's recharged, and he's another doer, aren't you? Hello, Andy. Welcome. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Josh.
Yes, hello, good evening, everybody on the panel, in the chat room, family, extended family, brothers of other mothers, sisters of other misters. It's nice to be back. I have, like I say, as recharged and retired, so feeling all well. I have been busy, been snowed under with other things, you know, privately and publicly as well. I've had a lot to do, so I've been head down into books as well, doing my own thing, as we all know that I do. It's nice to be back. It's I've had messages of love and things that they're missing me and that, but at the end of the day, man's got to do what man's got to do, and charity begins at home. And sometimes it seems selfish outwardly, but inwardly you got to do what's right by you, because no one else is going to come along and do it for you. So, you know, all best will and goodness aside, upon loving yourself has got to be paramount number one. Make sure your own house is stacked up, and the love with others in the right time. And that's the beauty of the knowledge and having the wisdom to know when and when not to, more to the point. And that's where I'm at the moment. So thank you, everybody, for waiting for my return. I am back, and my IO creator profile shall be up and running forthwith. Thank you, everybody.
Well, thank you, Andy. Thank you. Yeah, if you can't look after yourself, then and you can't tend to your own affairs, house, we call it house in order, don't we, brother? So we need to ensure at all times our houses are running efficiently, as our offices are, and our hearts and minds. So we have the first obligation, as I've said before, to our immediate biological family, and then it's to the other. So yeah, respect
Absolutely.
to you, much
Our
respect.
wisest ever investment shall never be in business. It's always into ourself. Our best ever investment is within it. It's always within to yourself. So I've just taken the time to do that. That's all. Every man has that right, surely.
Every man indeed. Yes, they do, and everybody knows your background. As further introduction is to come from Kevin, brother Kevin, who's helped us pioneer some of the communication and under the Hermetic principles. The principle of correspondence, everyone, is a big one. The principle of helped us correspond accordingly. When he came to see us, he wanted to take a bit of time to immerse himself in everything that we do and how we are. Once he did that, he then cognized what he needed to take. He took what he thought he needed to take. He put something together and he dealt with it, and he got a good result. He came back and said, "Hey, up fam, I've used this, I've done that, and this has worked. Are you interested?" We said, "Of course we're interested. If it's worked, then that's a good thing. How many more times will it
He's a
work?"
great soul and a lovely man,
Yeah.
and he got good intellect as well, and with a big
Bless
heart. And God bless him, exactly.
Without him telling us and him, using, and it's a two-way street. When we used it, he used it a few times. A brother called Graham also needs paying homage to and respects, because it's also Graham. So I hand over to you, Kev. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Yeah, funny enough, I'm in a place Andy's just travelled through. To be honest, I'm having to spend time on myself at the moment. I've broken myself to a degree, but it's all good. We're coming through it. But I really have done myself some damage over helping is the best way I can explain it. So what Andy's just come through, I'm actually in the middle of at the moment. But as I say, the fight and the walk goes on, and on we go. But yeah, from our point of view, as I said before, we found sobs in the middle of our journey, or stuff Graham and I were doing together. So we actually, you were sort of on the back burner. We were looking at you, but we weren't throwing ourselves at you. But once we'd got through the first side of what sort of became the process, then we started taking a lot more note, and obviously started taking stuff from you on board, which made stuff so much more powerful. Language, Andy, especially with the language, what we write, how we're writing in, all sorts of things, signing off, status, standing, capacity. So we really benefited from that. And as you know, the process is out there for the assessments. If anybody wants to have a look, you know where it is. There we have it, people. So bit down, but I'm high spirited. If that might sound strange, but I do enjoy talking, so it helps. So here I am. Good evening to everybody in the chat room. I've gone a bit, for my age, it's a bit techno mad around here tonight, because I've got 2 phones on the go, so I can see the chat room as well. Mm-hmm. So big love to everybody out there. Yeah. Great to speak to everybody.
Can I just say, Kev, that for yourself and myself and everybody here this evening, that talking is the key.
Yes.
We've only got our voice and one another. And if we don't let it out and you keep it all bottled up within, then it's going to explode at the wrong time on the wrong individual. It's normally the ones that we love. So it's best that we speak at how we feel and whatnot in the first instance, and try and, bring some type of redress to that which we have addressed, and move forward, and not keep suffering an emotion that's painful of a memory, nor for that of a perception of an imagination of the future, and only make the best of what we've got right in the now, because that's all we've got, and that's the way we strive.
That's lovely words, mate, and it's absolutely right to say I've got no problem. I'm a heart on my sleeve guy. I feel no shame in telling people how I'm feeling. Why should I?
That's right.
But I like to talk about it. Just saying, don't be shy. I'm not shy about it. I mean, even just earlier on today, I had sort of jitters about this. What, oh, do I need to do this tonight? And I'm like, no, you're going to enjoy it. Get on there and talk. So, no, it does help. It's a big step. And, just reaching out to say, you all, Andy, Dave, John Sherry, all sorts of people, Craig, Gumshoe, Albert, Luke and Stan, they've all, everybody's played a part. But so say, I've really just got to concentrate on myself a little bit at the moment. I'm exhausted, but it's all good. Big love to everyone.
Right back at you, mate.
Thanks, Andy.
No worries, love.
Oh dear.
Yes, Kev, I'm trying to help out best I can with the.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
We're doing all right. I'm looking out for him. Don't worry, fam.
No, Pete. Actually, I've just got to say, Dave has been ringing me, once a day, which has been really helpful. So we just, it might be a 10-minute chat. That's rare. But like the other night, I think we had a quick 2.5 hours, didn't we, mate? Or something like that, 2 hours 40. But no, it's been really helpful just because I know I've arranged to pick the phone up regardless, because sometimes I really struggle even pick the phone. I can't get any words out of my head, so I don't pick the phone up because I can't speak to anybody. It's really strange. But yeah, we're getting through it. It's all good. I've got all the support out there, all the love from the family and everything. I know everybody's there, and I know who I can go to. So it's all good. It's no problem. I say it's life. It's been going on 10, 11 years now with me. So it's not something new. It's just more intense at the moment. Anyway, that's enough about me. I'll shut my face.
No, it's key. It's key, Kev. That we all have some element of mental health aspect that we need to improve on, whether it be our well-being or our, how we feel, our positivity. If we have any fear, financially, we get affected, with burdens and pressures and requirements and children and offspring, assets, etc. Bills as such, and big barrier keeping them away. Litigation in the courtroom for civil issues. It's there's a lot going on. Man gets a lot of pressure and a lot of accusations put upon them. They don't actually know whom and what they are to the extent you do. And like I say, nobody is immune from it. So often just a phone call is what will fix or remedy an often quite dire situation. I'm not saying that's you, Kev, but
no,
depression and anxiety and how a man feels is quite serious, and we all have a letterbox there where things come through and make demands upon thine legal person. But our mental state is something we can all help with quite easy without going to the rapist or therapist, Sister Karen. Yes, you mentioned that.
I've learned in 2 words.
I
Mate.
did.
Yes, the rapist, therapist. I'm Kevin's.
Yeah.
Go-to guy for the time being, but there's no need to go that far.
That's
down.
why. Just joking, Dave. No, Dave's been absolute star. Everybody that I've spoken to. So there's not been a lot of people, but no, thanks everybody. It's getting better slowly. It's just worse than I've had it before. That's all it is. It's just more and for a longer period. So it's sort of thrown me off my game a bit,
We're family. We look after each other. We're strong together. We're all stronger together, and that's what we're going to concentrate on tonight. I see Josh is in the chat room. There's 42 in here now. I just want to say hello to John, Jesus of the Jonesy clan, Albert, Indigo Skies, and I like that name. Sister Nonna, Steve McRae's dropped in to see what's happening. Garden Plants, Ignorance of the Law, Care Mare, Alan of the Family Richardson, Ben in the Field. There's lots, too many. Honda 4004. I think I've said that. Sun and Moon Family, there's you. I see you saying hello, putting lots of hearts in. I have creators in there. So it's very busy. What we'd like to ask tonight, you are to Andy.
I of Creator is here. For those newbies that are in the house and don't realise, Andy Sovereign Smith is I of Creator. That is my tube channel that I've that you've recently made up for me, and I'll be getting me videos on there real soon.
Michael Angel, hello, brothers and sisters from Sydney, Australia. G'day, Bruce.
Josh has made one now, haven't you, Josh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put your link in if you want to link it, or we'll do that at the end. We'll put links into the description of everyone's channel. So, yeah, I will edit the description and put them in at the end. Links to all your channels. All right, fam. So, yeah, as we shut it down, I'll put them in. So at the end, they'll be able to link off and find them.
On your.
So if anyone, what I'd like to do is on the last hangout what we had with you, Karen, we myself and Josh, we talked about a great varied things. We can take questions tonight about you know, safeguarding and self-maintenance. Basically, what ideas has anybody got? What skill sets has anybody got with regards to offering services to a community, a private community? How would we go private? How would we obtain land? What land is there that we could obtain other than looking forward to the claim of right, going to the land registry, attorneys and generals, courts, you know, chancery courts, and getting the business done until we reach that ultimate pinnacle of remedy, maintenance and cure. What were you suggested, Josh, particularly caught a few man's ears, shell likes pricked up with regards to could you explain a little bit about the ventures that you are familiar with or interested in or developing? And I'd like to see if we can pull any resources from tonight and going forward with regards to if anybody else has got the same similar skill sets, desires, or wants to formulate a remedy, maintenance and cure immediately for the forewarned disruption to the United Kingdom that's about to hit if the United Kingdom corporation that Theresa May is in charge of right now, under Queen Elizabeth, the fictional title, albeit for the United Kingdom, the fictional trust that is not a landmass that's going to bring our lives, possibly, I'm not trying to scaremonger, but we don't have much faith. The trust in my eyes has been broken by these lot many a time over, and I don't envisage much smoothness with the deal or no deal, you know, going Noel Edmonds style. I think I'd rather see what's in the mystery box when it comes to these lot and their, you know, reliability with the governance of, and I'll leave it at that. So, Josh, could you just encapsulate anything you think might be relevant in the, you know, in light of that and what we said before? Nice one, brother.
Yeah, no problems, mate. So, I've just been thinking a lot recently. Well, it's been about the last 2 years I've had these thoughts, and if we're sort of struggling on our own, or just with our family or your couple, and you're going to work every single day and you're not having time to think, and you're in a house which is a proper tie, and it's given in the language for you to see that
proper to me.
Yeah, you're tied down to this place that you have to return to every night, and then you have to go to work to pay it to live in it. But if you just stand outside the front of your house and have a look around, if you live in a cul-de-sac or a street, you'll probably see about 30 houses, yeah? And these 30 houses, you probably don't know your neighbors on a personal level because everybody's kind of separate these days. But if those 30 people were miraculously all your friends, so if you just take that vision for a second and say, for example, we say an average house in the UK is maybe £250,000, yeah? So 30 houses that cost £250,000 on that small street with a small bit of grass, the revenue there is £7.5 million. So if everybody had a little bit of equity, and this is what I put to the channel the other day, say if, for example, just 10 people had houses and maybe £100,000 equity in them, and they got together and they bought a plot of grazing land, you could get approximately 20 acres of grazing land for around about £50,000. And log cabins on concrete fixed dampers that can be moved off don't need planning permission. So if everybody those 10 people collectively had the £1 million in the bank. They spent £25,000 on their log cabins. That deducts £250,000. We said £50,000 for the land. Now that deducts 300. So between those 10 families who were individually struggling, having a life where they're having to do servitude, are now together, friendly, looking after each other, have each other's backs on their own land with £700,000 equity. So that £700,000 can be used to make so many things. It can be put in a bank, a high interest bank. Not that we trust these banks and we wouldn't use it, but it could be. And you could live off the interest as a community. But not only that, the money that you would have and the brains that you would acquire, you'd be able to make so much money, or so much water, should I say, to continue journeys. Whether or not the journey continues here or there's a bigger picture happening, I don't want to get too deep into that. But even that equity there, you could travel the world, you could see the earth chakras as a community as well, and have that central hub as a base. And not only on that land, you would be using the land, so you'd be growing all your own organic fruit and vegetables. All the fruit and vegetables in the shops nowadays are grown by 3 synthetic minerals, NPK. Our bodies need 113 minerals. We're all lacking minerals because the food that is provided for us has none of these minerals in it. The matrix itself is almost pushing us to a point right now where we have to make these decisions. Are we going to go back in slumber, or are we going to climb out of our bed and make these changes? And I see this Brexit thing happening now to this point as in a revelation. I see the job centre, the credit thing as a revelation, because when you flip the coin on the other side, you're almost being forced to make your moves. So it's also an enlightening process as well. But everybody, as I said, every dog has their days. So it depending on your growth on here right now, it'll be dependent on where you're willing to go. So if your heart is in the right place, you'll only get pushed to better yourself if you see the signs. So right now, a lot of us are starting to see these signs, and there's a lot of us that are feeling the strains of this system. So if people want a little bit of relief, all we need to do is be brave, trust in each other, pull together, find some common minds, and make our move out of this. The only thing is we've been controlled in our mind by the governed mind. And there's only a certain point that you can be controlled in your consciousness. And when you reach a certain level of consciousness, the control is no longer there. So with me, I'm no longer controlled and I can see straight through everything. And I'm ready to take control of my paradigm and share and hopefully bring a few like minds with me, because I did this on my own. And I will tell you, on my own, it was very difficult. I was raised in a family growing all this fruit and veg myself, eating plant-based, chopping every, it was just hard on my own, growing all these vegetables. But if I had one more family, it would have been easy. So understanding this, look into this UK situation right now. If people have any sort of equity, 10, 15, 5, 20 people, we can make a significant change in our lives now if we just walk away from servitude and the system. So if there's anybody interested or is resonating with anything I'm saying, we will develop this as the chat goes on. I'm just putting the ideology out there, but together we can do many things. The unfortunate thing is we've been segregated and we've been sent to work and are separate from everybody that we know and like. So yeah, it's time to make these changes. If everybody's on the same path, then we can do it ASAP.
There's 3 words for me: personage, bondage, tutelage. And when man knows whom he is, you claim back the allodial title and all rights and entitlements that come with it, and then man creates his own promissory note. There is no need to endeavour into any fiat currency. And I can't say much beyond that at this point, because I'm doing something in the next 7 days to go and do this myself. But to do what I'm speaking is, I believe it is the only proper, just way to do it above board, as they say.
Brilliant.
In there.
I hear you, and I stand right by that, mate. I didn't want to go there tonight, but yeah, I'm exactly on the same wavelength as that, and I get what you're saying, and that's exactly what I want to do.
Exactly.
So yeah,
so I'm going next week or the week after. Myself,
brilliant, mate.
my person, and that's all I need, and a document with my evidence on it that I have authorised and scribed myself. It's all I'm no subscriber.
The scriber.
No.
Good work, mate.
Sorry, my son's just coming talking to me. Do you want anything from the shop? Sorry about this. I was trying to say we're live on Channel 4. Don't say piss or bugger, but what can I do? It's live, isn't it? Sorry about that, everybody. But yeah, that's the way forward. To your status, your standing, and your capacity is paramount. We could club together, as you call it, equity. What you call as equity, I would call as collateral. You have collateral, and it has no substance to it anyway. So it's all just a belief system anyway. And to step aside from that and put yourself in the correct boots, man will provide his own promise to pay, or whatever else levies required, your endorsements and whatever else way forward once you have your correct entitlements.
Yeah, brilliant. I see it as maybe a stepping stone for the people that are not quite on this level. So if people have got the equity and they're a bit fearful and they don't maybe and understand what we're saying, then it's going to allow those minds to get together and get their freedom initially. If you can kind of see what I'm saying. Yeah, and I think it's just the ideology that needs to be put out there for the minds that might not have been able to think about it because they've been so busy at work.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we anything's possible, and impossible is spelled I'm possible, and it's literally you're the only one that can do it. So it's about making those steps,
All is within. You can't look out for it because nothing's out there to come to you. Everything is within.
And that's our mistake.
It's the belief that brings, the relief, and you can turn the new leaf and live the life, and that's how I believe it to be.
That's right. And to be a leaf, you have to relief, and you go back to the tree, mate.
Exactly. It's the tree of life. It's what you're going to have, the apple or the knowledge. It's up to you.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes, mate. Well done. Brilliant.
We see that at the minute there's a ever-present real danger, and that there's a foreign invasive force on this landmass that we call our home. So our homes are not our homes because there is, on every mortgage, I would argue 95% a notice of equitable interest, which means
it's where we dwelt.
The financial institution has already put the first in time, first in line equitable maxim into play when you are signing up for the mortgage, and they put that charge on. That means that they've got the rights to it in the equitable realm because they're the ones that have put the charge on. So it's very cutthroat and nasty, this realm, and we haven't got much reliability on it. So until we are all with the remedy for maintenance and cure, and we are able to, go for safety to the land of milk and honey, what do we do in the meantime? Because the tents and the ships that are out there, the hard ships and the partnerships and the guardian ships, they're killing us. And so there is an idea that we could use the systems like what we do when we obtain the remedy for those out there, or we look to obtain remedies out there, lawful ones for the legal position, is utilize the systems at hand where we can, and make them work for us in our favor. So if we can get equity off men that have had enough with the system, or that have got enough to play with, that want to do some experimentation or want to come and meet us and look at health, wealth, energy systems, 0 point solar, organic farming, stuff like this, all the spectrum that we can offer together, we've got to try and explore it, because I don't know if you've noticed or not, but outside it looks like it's kind of like the end of times, where the parties and the systems and the world leaders are all disbanding. I've never seen such a demonic type of a social structure. I see more demony type symbols and occult type stuff. When I say occult, secret, suppressed stuff, symbols and signs and occult things that we recognize because we're in the circuit. And I see that there's messages out there. I'm having synchronicities and things going off in life. So I thought, when I heard Josh's proposals and others willing to pull resources and look at establishing some kind of exit from the United Kingdom, but still remaining on this landmass. But that's basically what we're looking at doing, but accompanying it with the remedy, maintenance and cure under the claim of right for one. So I
As
just
a-
safety,
as is
safety. Go on.
I was going to say, as is Tesco is Tesco. For example, if someone stole from Tesco, really, like unless Mr. Tesco comes to court, there's no case. Yeah,
Yeah.
really. So the local councils, unless Mr. Council comes to court, there's no case, is there?
You're on about the claimant being present or a representative
Yeah.
of the claimant. Yeah.
I'm
Go
just
on,
trying. Yeah, I'm just saying things loosely because I don't really know what I can say, so I'm just saying it loosely.
Yeah.
And for an example, I mean, council own a lot of land, don't they?
No, they're what? Sorry, the council.
They own a lot of land.
No, they manage a lot of land in my
Well,
eyes.
that's
But
right.
go on. Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, it's managed.
Stockholders. Yeah, go on.
They hold a lot of land for people
Yeah.
waiting to go and get the land they wish to exist upon.
Yeah.
So really, when you understand that you're not a corporate entity no more, and you're a being of this earth, and you're more of a spirit than this physical matter, then everything is yours, and you should share it with everybody. So that mentality will take you to places where you know that, yeah, you're entitled to everything, but
Can I
so is
just say
everybody
that
else.
every local council is regulated and owned by a religious sector. It's all church
Parish
governed.
councils,
It's
they
all
used to be,
church
didn't they?
governed. It all
Yeah,
comes
we've done.
back to one thing, allow me to tell you.
Yeah, the churches are thick in there, aren't they?
But listen, fam. The great in these publications that we've done for the key competence on spls.com, we've got a diagram there that G Star's done with the triangle, and the Earth as the res, the Christians as the beneficiary, and God as the grantor of dominion, God, settler, big man beard there, typical picture of him, and he didn't charge anybody for the world. So now we're looking at paying for the world because of what? Because people have drawn imaginary lines and borders and laid claim, and monarchies and militaries have established. We have an establishment, and the establishment is that's the danger that we have here.
And what are they doing, mate? They're establishing a mindset, just the same way the governed minds. Everybody's got the same mind, haven't they? And all we need to do is unlock our own and be free again.
All is within.
All is within, mate.
Respectfully decline a bit. Man needs to stand up and start respectfully declining. Say no. It don't hurt. It helps a piece.
You just got to be virtuous, haven't you? In every action you do, you just got to be virtuous.
If it's right, and if it don't feel right and proper, then it probably isn't. If it's too good to be true, then it probably is. It's all these things. It's all these feelings that we always have and bloody well ignore because of the mindset. And it's
That's
the
right. And if
mindset
it's overcomplicated, it's not right.
To ignore our very basic natural instincts that we're God-given, inalienable right. We've got all these things within. Everything is within. Trust ourselves a piece. That's all I'm saying.
That's right. That's right.
Trust. Yeah, we like that word. We do have trust. That's the thing that's key there. We have trust, and we trust ourselves. I'm going out meeting a man, everyday man, and I can see the desperation and the communities and what's happening, and nobody looks happy here. And this deal that's going off, these corporate deals, and the NHS, the trusts, we'll not say NHS, just the trusts at hand, and how much they're struggling. The waste management and all of the infrastructure of the United Kingdom seems to be crumbling, just like we say Babylon must fall. It looks like the United Kingdom's infrastructure is bailing and worrying about stocks and shares and these kind of things, and it's our lives that are at stake, and our blood and the lineage, the future. So tonight it's just a chat about how you feel, how you see things, and if we could look at pooling some resources. What's wrong with having a sovereign national resource centre, or not a sovereign, Anglo-sovereign centre where we could start laying claim, and then looking at, once we've established somewhere, building upon that and gathering more land, however small it may be, whether it's donated from somebody, whether we protect that asset, or whether we, utilize it under an agreement in private. Yeah, that's what we're looking at doing. The key here is private agreements under trust. And if we can establish any private agreements under trust and utilize our mutual resources, I will be a very happy man. And I think one day, if we do it enough, there may be an opening in the clouds, and the big man might send it down and go, well done, everyone. You know, you finally learn to get on and to, you know, we can still use money. I'm not saying get rid of money, but all I'm saying is we need to look at using what systems and resources are at hand now and go from our cyclical consumption and start managing it in a better private way and stop being as public, whether it be with the full public liability or whether the fact we rely on public services to feed us. If you rely on a public, look at America, he's closed the government down and they're wondering about food stamps. What? The creditors are wondering about their food stamps. That cannot happen to us. That will not happen to us. No way. You know, it's a joke. Please.
See, the Americans don't know who they are either as an individual. The trouble is, you know, that the United States is the only nation which hasn't signed into the Treaty of Agreements, whereby they're the only ones that still uphold their own constitution to this day.
The Club of Rome has
one
taken hold.
one into one, whereby you are state-owned and so is your assets and your property, plain and simple, until you set straight the relationship that they think that they behold upon you and know how to, you know, implement the instrument of your person.
Hungary.
Yeah.
I just want to say Hungary. Our last is Hungarian, Josh. I don't know if you've seen on the news, but President Victor has been a naughty man, kind of. Well, really, he's been evil, in my opinion. Some might say, because he's passed a law where the Hungarian workforce that are all submitted into servitude and submitted their rights and got a job, they have now been ordered, because that's how governments work. They generals order the you know, the infants, the
ministers
infantry,
of the military, of the militia,
and they've all been ordered to do a mandatory 300 hours extra overtime per 365 days. And on, this is not optional. So for most Hungarians, Magyar, Magyar is how it's spelt for them, that their land, but Hungarians, I'll reference them as, they've got to now do an extra day, which is now 6 days, working a Saturday, to accumulate those 300 hours. Once they've accumulated them 300 hours, they get paid for them in 3 years down the line. So that's the next stinger. Whilst there was all out protesting about this, the president of Hungary went over and did something with the parliamentary and the prime minister, and they changed the jurisdiction of the courts and how they can process and manage and assign and forfeit and so forth. And that's gone down as well. And you've got the French with the yellow vest. And what I'm worried about here is that the Anglo blood, the intelligent, loving men that is our extended family outside, if they haven't got any options to feed their family, they will go out and they will go and find something. And I know what you lot are like and I'm like, and you will go, and there's not enough in these built up cities to last if there is this significant disruption to the United Kingdom. So I'm not trying to say we have no options, but what I'm saying is, what do we do and when do we do it? How would we pool our resources and how would we open a network up now significantly with the ideas that Josh is talking about? Andy, when we travelled to Liverpool, we said, look how much open land there is here, and we're all crammed into tiny little boxes, didn't we?
Yeah,
there was loads. It was ridiculous. You know how many fields there are out there. Josh, you're right.
Well, you two are right. Trust for us, brother. The National Trust are holding it for us. We just got to know how to take it back. And now that we know, we've got to get it out there how to. And once we've done it ourselves, we'll do it in the private domain. It's as simple as that, isn't it? They're just sneaking out buggers.
And why is there not food grown on the land? Tell me, why is there no food?
Because they get paid subsidies each year to the tune of millions, not from the bankers, lovely jubbly, while they import it from another country at a cheap rate.
Exactly.
Send our arable stuff out of the country, the Lincolnshire flats and whatnot. All our good produce gets sent out of the country for premium money, and the dregs that are left over and kicked around the place a piece are put on the top shelf in this country and called organic, and the prices are humped up there too. So the general man on the street cannot afford to feed his family local produce and his children because it's shipped out or it's organic labelling.
Yeah, and they take away the gardens from the houses nowadays. They're about big enough to
Absolutely.
just grow, you know. And when I went to Spain, the
Absolutely.
funny thing is, mate, they do exactly the same in Spain, and they send it all over the world.
That's right.
Uh,
It's all grown in bloody clay in polytunnels.
mate, and in Spain, I tell you, their diet is just pig and dairy, mate. So
Lovely. If
they,
you want to be a pig bum, you carry on.
yeah, that's all they eat. They eat pigs and dairy. And I went out there to grow my own lovely fruit, and obviously while mine was growing, I went out there to eat theirs. But I noticed that people weren't eating it, and it was all being sent abroad. So
Dairy and
yeah, we
sugar
got.
is the number one killer to the body for cancer and mucus and all your enzymes. It just chokes you up, man. So keep off the dairy and keep off the sugars. It's all I'll say.
I was saying, if I can say one more thing as well, is yeast, mate, because yeast is candida. It feeds off the
Yeah.
sugar and it's just growing all
Yeah.
over people's bodies, man.
And that's why they put it in everything, you know. It's the number one drug of the plane. I've asked many individuals, what's the number one drug in the world that you know it? I know it as the plane, the plateau. And they all say heroin and cocaine and things. Never ever sugar.
Sugar, mate. If this is what I say, if you abstain a child from sugar till he's like 20 years old and let him have his first bit, you'll watch him have a big rush, mate. Just like a first cocaine use, you know?
Blue Smarties, exactly.
Exactly. But people have been so conditioned to take it, they're desensitized to it, their body's used to it, uses the poison, and then it becomes the poison.
It becomes you. That's right. Whatever you consume, it becomes you.
Exactly. This is where the word meat is in the Bible. It says use the seed bearing fruit as meat, and meat is just about when I meet you, mate. We're reciprocating energy together.
That's right.
So when we're in each other's fields, we're reciprocating energy. So this thing I'm about to eat, of course, I'm going to meet it.
That's right. You have
It's
to
gonna-
minion over the animals, not to eat them.
No, that's right. You're supposed to take
Shepherd
care
them.
of things that aren't in your position. Yes,
Exactly.
that's right.
To drive, and that's why they've derived it from shepherding to driving. And a person shall not drive without in accordance with a license. And there you go. You're off on the high seas before you know.
That's why they call you a driver, mate, because the D is the
Exactly.
form and the river is after the driver. It's D River,
Exactly.
mate.
Held in
And they
by the
put
bank, and the banker is up there on the bench waiting for you when you get there.
and the bank holds water in, but also it's a B ank and an onk holds things together, and B is the second letter in the alphabet, so it's a two-way holding, and the banks hold streams, whether it's electrical or water.
That's right, and we are the flow of both. We are electrical connectivity. It's the electrolytes that keep us alive. So we are the ebb and the flow.
And we are the electromagnetic.
You
Yeah,
better believe it. We are the pull. We pull with the magnetism. We are the magnetism, the flow. You know, the tidal, the moon, everything that comes with it.
That's
That they
right.
say.
The
And our
temporal.
temples, mate. The T
Mm.
represents a physical. T is the physical. The EM is electromagnetism. Pull. The temple is the
Temple
physical
and taurine.
electromagnetic pull.
Aura and temple. Yes, exactly. All within and around you. Be aware.
Be aware, mate. Very aware. Don't be a werewolf, though.
That's right.
I've put links in for Sun and Moon, Josh X, I Have Creator. Kevin, I need a link for your channel. Your link. I
So if
can't
everybody
find it.
takes
This is a channel I don't know about.
if everybody takes their steps to build their own temple, they get to a certain point where they know they need to be in clean. They know they can't exist around these streets in this city, this matrix, this Babylon, and they have the urge and the need and the want to get away back to nature. So this is a point of consciousness that everybody will go through if they choose to extend their consciousness past the realms of TV matrix and food manipulation. It's a natural soul process. There's many, many more things to this soul, but there's many, many more things to talk about. So we'll stay on this one today. But yeah, take ownership and let's no ship. Get rid of the ships.
Whoa. Take the position of beneficiary in all that you do.
Realize you are God and you need to take a stand.
Realize that God is within. Godliness is goodliness with the O removed. That's all.
Yes, mate. Good and evil is God and devil.
It's all the same side of the same coin. It's all within. Love, hate, envy, desire. All this, everything is all that we wish it to be. It's how we resonate. It's how we see things. It's our perception. It's the awareness of all those. And we talk about it often. It's the mind and the heart resonance, and the one's oil, one's water. Don't mix them. I should blow a head gasket.
Need a new seal.
It's what it gets you. So.
And he was on about
separate.
when he was on about when he was on about temples and pulls and magnets and that temporal,
The temporal, yeah.
we have you have a skull caps, something to do with rowing and boats have oars, and that's why you get an order coming from the, and it's I forgot, it was Chiron last. I was watching a video about the pull and the dings, the pull and the dings. It's very interesting. Tidings and greetings, tings and dings, coming from the
No
realm of which
problem.
we live
I'll
in.
accept your order. There's the invoice.
You get a bill, don't you? That's it. You give an
You
order,
better
you get a
believe it.
bill.
No, I'll perform for you in the first instance. I hope you're ready to pay.
Perform. I love it when you say that.
Well, it's all an act. It's all an act, isn't it? The world is a stage. It's what role you're going to enact today. You better play it good and know what you're doing. But when you do, baby, you'll reap the reward and your reward. And you know, those that are doing it against us, those that trespass against us, mate, they'll reap with tears that which they are sowing with joy at this moment. So we'll turn it around. Don't worry.
Sister Karen, you're a bit quiet. Have you got anything you'd like to chelp up with? Bless her.
I'm here. I'm just listening. It's a bit of a change for me to be on this side of it, isn't it?
Are you having fun? Good,
I'm usually
all
on
right.
your side of it.
I know, I'm just checking on you. I'm just seeing. You all right? All
Yeah,
good.
I'm listening. Good. Don't worry, I'm here.
Oh.
Yeah.
We've mellowed her out, mate. You see, it's the resonance we bring to the room.
The
She said
vibe.
it to me last time. When we had our last chat, she gave on. She had like a little moment after every time I brought something for. She's like, "Oh, Andy."
Yeah, I remember.
And
I
I
do
think
remember
you made in that same relaxed state this evening, feeling slightly under the weather. God bless her heart, but you know she's stuck in strong with us, and like you say, brother Dave, she's said little, but she's there and she's mindful, and she's definitely in the room, mate. She hasn't left, so it's all good.
When you said resonate, then resonate. The word resonate is like RE, which is rightfully establishing the sun, and 8. So resonate has many meanings, but I want to go here. I don't know if it's too far, but so 8 is basically light. Yeah. If you take off the 2 lines at the top of the E, it makes the L, which is light. But 8 is the full cycle. So when 7, 8, 9, 9 is at the center of 8. Yeah. Right in the belly of 8. Because 8 is a complete sine wave, and solar luminescence comes from the center. So the light is from the center of 8. 7 is the sine wave. S, even, is balancing out the sine wave within us. And this is why we have a chakra system. The chakra system is a chakra, is the house of the sun. And this is why I was going to the resonate, because I've been thinking recently about the climate change, and how the Matrix gives us hints and tips all the time.
And all that scam, yeah.
Yeah, so climate, I think, is trying to say it's the climate change, as in the sun cycle is doing this figure of 8, right? And it's about to change, and it's a new epoch or a new age, and the sun's changing it's changing the way that it moves, yeah? So we're having a shift in consciousness, and we're having a shift in the way that our astrological calendar is, yeah? So the climate change has nothing to do with the weather. The chemtrails, we know what they're doing. They're doing the opposite of what they're saying. They're blocking out the sky so we can't see them, and obviously it creates more heat.
The cleverly thought of words, the climate. Oh, it's the environment. Well, hang on. I'm in my own environment right now, within my own dwelling. You know. Then there's another environment right outside the window. So which are we talking? It's all very cleverly worded, isn't it? While they're spinning the money out your pocket.
Yeah. So the climate, I think they're trying to let us know that the sun's changing all the time, and with these etymology things, we're getting closer and closer to the answers. But the climate change, it's just hit me in the last couple of days, really thinking about it, because
the only thing that doesn't change is change itself, mate. All the rest is for profit.
Yeah, profit.
Yeah, forfeiture.
Anything profit, mate, is forfeiting.
That's
with
sure.
Against, you don't want no profit. Everything is everybody's, and we should all share it.
Yeah, that's what's ruining outside, the fact that everybody has to make a profit, that banks and these private, elitists that print this money, that lend it to government, want interest on it, and we can't keep up with it. The systems that they've put out there for man, for the people of the United Kingdom, essentially, but that are affecting man via torts and tacits and acquiescence and all of this, is absolutely abhorrent. We cannot have our rights taken off us by deceptive, non-disclosed measures just so they can say, well, we've got clean hands. If only they did this, this, and this, they'd be all right. Yes, but my lord, nobody's told them, and they'll never find out because they're all high on super strength weed, taking smack and working far too many hours.
Eating sugar and eating dumbed down foods, and of course they can't have time to think. But this is the whole part of the system, and this is why the system will force you, to wake up. If you got a divine spark inside of you, this system is divine, perfect, and it will force you to a position where you need to start looking around and wake up. And I'm guessing we're put here on this Midgard, Asgard, on this earth here to learn a lesson. And the lesson is to take control of yourself. And if you can't take control of yourself, how could you manage your own reality or your own world? And this is how I see the Matrix. You know, I used to see it quite depressing and down until I enlightened myself a bit and seen through it all and realized, hang on a minute, I'm really gifted and lucky to be it. Not lucky because I've worked myself, you know, but I see the position, I see it as it is, and I see it as a necessary. And I know it's unfortunate because our hearts are resonating and we have the empathetic pathways and we're seeing all these beings around us suffering, and all we want to do is help them and wake them up. But to me, this system is perfect for the soul growth because it's a necessary need for the person's awakening process to be able to go and create his own world when he's at that right time.
That's right. There's a cracking little Mad Pie Man's in the room is saying the desire for land ownership increases the greed, although no one can own the land. And it's quite right. What a lovely little sentence that is. It's almost like I wrote it myself. Excellent. You can't own anything while we're here. No. We can only look after things. We only have possessory rights, and we must give back as we found it, you know, for those that are coming after us. And it is
allegedly, Andy, allegedly he's an angry God and he's a jealous God, yeah. And so he granted us dominion of the lands, and then these guys have gone and done what they've done and bonded us. And I think, he'd be quite happy if we went back and claimed it back. It's called liberating the land. Is it not? We're not owning it, we're liberating it.
Money, and they think it's worth something, you see. And as it says in the book, you know, it's the pursuit of money that's evil. So, you know, when you're doing it right and just taking what's right for your own and to prosper for your own assets and family, you know, that's all we require. What's fair and just and proper, nothing more, not a drop more.
That's right. Yeah, man, definitely. So liberate sounds like the 8 again, you know. Liber means.
Come on, there you go. Go on.
Free the 8.
Yes,
And there's the 8 again, mate. So
liberate.
Liberate.
Liberate to tolerate.
There you go. It's the 8. It's the breathing rate. It's the 8, and everything 8. You eat. You ate. You become.
Tolerate to alleviate. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, that's it.
This is a sound of alternate. And
this is
come on, Kevin. This one's
the term. The term in 8. Term in 8. The term in 8.
Oh, the Terminator, yeah.
And the Torah is the Torah. And you have a term in 8, right? And this term is dependent on what you know and what you do. And
here's the one. I'll give you the maximum word you're going to get for your 8, shall I? And it's a big one, and it's one I'm going to use it myself very soon.
Is it Virgo's trick shot? Is he going for it? Is it Sovereign Smith's trick shot? Smithy's trick shot.
Testator. Testator. Read it, baby. That's who we are. Testator.
Testator.
In what realm? In what capacity?
I get that.
Yeah.
Of man, mate.
Yeah, under God, in the biblical testator, because that's the will and testament. The wheel, Josh, it's using the wheel, your free will, the wheel of life, the wheel of light. You know,
and the wheel is the will, and the will is the law. Will backwards is law. If you spell it phonetically. And the wheel is 12, and 12 is L, and L is God.
And that's why we're real and not real, and we're real. Our fishing reel, we're fishermen real. That's right.
And real also breaks down to RE-all, which is bringing everybody together.
Oh,
yes.
You know, we have to become real. We RE-all, and we become together. And together spells to get her. And her is representing the Mother Earth.
Well, unity, you and I together, unity with the common thought, common mind, common ground, common wealth, common knowledge. It's all there together. Common unity. It's lovely.
And if anybody's got any issues, the word issues means is you. And if anybody's got issue, you just got to work on yourself to get rid of it, because you shouldn't be looking at anybody to deal with your anger or get angry with anybody else.
Yeah.
It's just because you're finding someone else you don't like, and the issue is you.
It's within you, that you've seen in them what's within you. That's right, and you'll get your
Yeah,
just desserts. And when you
that's
spell
why I spell-
dessert backwards, it spells stressed. Pardon? What?
And then with the issue, you have tissues. So T represents the physical, and tissues are for physical issues. And you'll see how the language will always tell you. And you can see it, and I'll start to build it up for people through this conversation. But yeah, the T represents the physical. So you got physical issues when you need your tissues, mate.
And why do you think it was hung on a capital T? Hello, the cross of fiction.
Because that was its physical. Yeah, man. Great.
Hello. Nailed it, haven't we? Forgive the pun.
Oh, whoa. And how many nails did you have? 3? The Trinity.
Yeah.
And you know, this industry that we live in right now, it's just the dust of the tree, mate. It's industry.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Dust of the tree.
Industrial.
Rewind selector.
It's not
Industry.
industrial. It's industrial. How they've written it. It's their side of the Canaan, the transgressors. We are industrial.
Yeah.
It's all the spelling. That's right. Those bloody way they spell it round, it gets on my nerves. And when you put it right, they don't like it. Let me tell you.
Yeah, but that's what you see through the magic, then, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Their magicry, their sorcery. That's all as it is, mate. Magicians and trying to got bloody big old sleeves on them and pull all the tricks out, mate, to try and coerce you.
A wizard sleeve.
Yeah, that's some women like that.
Oh, don't be like that, Kev. I knew you'd pipe in, mate, and drop the bloody tone.
Well, you lined it up, didn't you? What did you expect?
I'll put the
This
bullet
is exactly
in.
why we need more women in the movement, just on the panel. Sorry, sister.
Sorry, Karen.
Uncouth.
No, Lloyd.
I'm here.
Sorry, Karen.
Standing tall, lined up. He knew I'd walk into it. Well,
What's happening
sort
in the
of
chat?
neat people like lead.
There is a society out there, the Law Society, and that's what's governing everything. The Club of Rome and the Law Society. I'm not saying we'd start in the Sovereign Society, but you on this chat panel now are, forming. I'd like to say that I'd like to call upon, and you've got, accounts on the .com as some kind of steering and, steering committee, or, some kind of assembly of decent, honourable, loving, self-governing souls. That's simply, as I see you, a tribunal. And we need to look at our societies, and whether, Josh, if you go off and make websites or do whatever, then great, that's credit to you. And if you go and do anything, we'll help promote that and look to work with you. But our society needs strengthening. This society, we need they run that machine out there like a military machine. We've started to learn to send sentences into courtrooms and to offices like soldiers into battle, and we're getting very good at it. But now what we need to do is look at how to sustain and protect ourselves, and what we can offer each other. So what I'm picking up from all this thread is that we are all quite under somewhat of an attack through a society of which we are immersed in but not part of. We interface with it, but it's not ours. And it's commercial, it's business, it's all business all the time. It's not love, and it's not caring, and we are love and caring. So if anyone out there is wondering, well, what have these guys got that we haven't got already? Well, security, forward planning with love and care and integrity and intelligence, rather than just like, oh well, we didn't really think that if we didn't do this and that would happen, and they'd burn in the flats. We didn't know. What do you mean you didn't know? You paid. What do you mean you couldn't keep a drone out of a fucking airport? Sorry to swear, but geez Louise, this is just jokes now. What we are seeing, if me and Smithy had a government, or we had some kind of management and things was running overnight, there would be a massive change. You would all wake up and go, what's happened outside? Dave and Andy have been busy. That's what's happened, and we'll let you know what we've done in your interest, because you trust us. We're the trustees, and we've got on and done it. Whereas these lot sit there and they see what they can get away with. And when enough of us are dead and it makes enough of the news, then suddenly they go, oh, yes, we're very sorry. And what we've done, John's gone. We've now got Dave and we're paying these lot this and very sorry. Yes, sorry again. And carry on, everyone. Nothing to see, you know. And then 5 years later,
We shall perform an internal inquiry.
Jeez, look, yeah. And we've found that nothing's wrong.
We're all above board. What?
Man come back from Iraq and David Kelly and such things, investigations and that, you know, what's happened. And, you know, I'm not saying that Nikola Tesla brought us such fantastic technology. I'm so sorry for mankind that technology alone, magnetism, toroidal, 369, you know, everything that he's done. What was we talking about earlier, Josh? That Donald Trump, it's somewhere in the family. I said it was the office of
I was going to say, if everybody knew the magnifying sense of 369, yeah, the magnificence is magnify senses, yeah. And I can tell you that I'm ready to replicate that technology on the land. So all we need to do is get together. So it's so simple. It's not hard. It's just because people haven't had this thought processes, you know. If something is complex, it's because they lied to you about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything is simple or simplex in nature. It is simple, mate. There's only one thing.
I can't believe that you can get fire from water. Just quickly, that I do the hydrogen in engines, and I'll show you the Turan tomorrow if we meet up and we have that little meeting. I'll show you these incredible machines that you put onto engines, and you separate hydrogen and oxygen.
The fuel cell, yeah.
Yeah, I'm making fire from water. And when this man showed me this, I nearly fell down. I went, I'm 36 years of age and I'm seeing this now. Why didn't I do this at school? Why didn't the science teacher tell me about this?
Well, they give you a little bit of a hint in school.
No way. Water is fuel. That's it.
Some water.
Off you go.
You put a little electric current for it and you see the bubbles start happening, don't you? Crazy.
Yeah, carry on. I didn't mean to interrupt, but carry on. Tesla technology. This is important because it's there and it's been kept from us for a reason. So we can geoengineer the atmosphere by poisoning it by these exhaust fumes and the petrodollar tax that they're making us pay. Is it not? I'd argue.
Also, the energy, the dielectric field will create a mini force field around you in a certain area as well. So your air is clean, it's purified. There's so many things that we're going to be able to do as long as we get together and we just build upon it till we got the most beautiful community. It's just going to be a domino effect. Look within, the rest of the without will just naturally follow because it's our universe, mate.
It's time to disperse from these cities and, you know, take back what's rightfully ours, you know.
Yeah. Like when you go to school, man, they tell you go and have a lesson. Well, if I was getting less sun, sun is consciousness. I'm a sun. I don't want that, you know.
No, you're getting less sun
mini stars, mini stars.
Building.
Less sun, mini stars, and the less sun. The language again,
yeah,
fantastic.
What's tutelage then? You get a tutor. You get a tutor at school. What's tutelage?
I'm just
to be under governance, and that's what's happening there. To be indoctrinated in that way on one of their ships. That's what it's all about, right there.
Yeah. And the tutor is the physical, your tour. So they're basically making your Taurus.
Pupillage. It's all there.
Pupil.
It's all of the age. Everything's got the age on the end. You know, person age. What they're doing. You know.
Pilgrimage.
It's all there. Have a look at it closely. I love the etymology and the roots and the beginnings of how it all started. And that's why when you can express these things, both verbally and clerically, you can really make things move and compel people to whom and what capacities they behold. Because like I've just said, to cap a city and take over it as your own in your own capacity with goodwill is how you do it standing in the correct standing. It's all capacity and standing, and you got to tell the correct individuals whom you are and whom they are. And once this is done, then things are going to change. And I can't tell you what they are at this point because I haven't done it, but it's coming to me in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I've got all my paperwork clarified, my folder ready, and I'm ready.
Oh, good work, mate. Good work. I love to hear it. Congress, yeah. If we want progress, we shouldn't have a Congress, should we? Because pro is for and con is against.
I digress.
Or regress.
That's right. I always regress everything, eh?
You're bringing me into distress.
Yeah.
Repel. It's all these words. It's they would have a person appeal, whereas a man would repeal to stop in its tracks. But we're not taught this language. We're not taught what's what.
No, on an English language level, and rather than the Black's Law Dictionary, person is per means each and sun, so each sun is a person. The persona is the mask, but we are literally stars and suns, mate, and that's why star is the STR, because the T is the physical, R is you, and the sine wave is at the front. And then you look at the word start. If you look at start, you'll see S is the sine wave. And then TART, yeah? So you have star in the physical. And that's when you start this game. You were a star and now you're in the physical. You started. And then the finish is the phi, as in the physical world, is the phi cycle. Then you have an N, which represents the end. And then you have IS, which is, and the H is 8, which is eternal. So the finish is the phi's end is eternal.
Absolutely.
And we are all eternal, mate. And we got to defy this law and go back to nature. And defy means defying from the phi cycle, the physical. And this is the ultimate goal,
The
ultimate liberation away from this physical constraint.
And we are by discussing with the disc and us, with the discussing of it, we
and
will,
discoveries is the disc ovaries.
And disciples, discussing, discovery. What the hell's going here? See where we are. It's like, hang on.
Of Mother Earth.
Yeah, the sun and the moon, mate. The biggest discovery you'll ever find is the discoveries, the disc ovary.
And they used to call me Disco Dave when I was a DJ as a kid. They were like, Disco Dave's here and all. I was like, wow, this disc business is it's just hard to shake off.
And a disco is di, which represents God dielectric field. S is in the center, which is the sine wave, and co is joining forces. So when you are dancing or discoing, you are joining forces with the dielectric to God. It's movement.
Oh, I've always said it's the connecting. You've just basically explained how I've said music is the middle bit between man and the spiritual realm. It connects the etheric connection between consciousness and the subconscious, basically.
And what's music backwards?
What's
music backwards is kiss 'em.
Oh yeah, go on.
Kiss 'em. Nice.
Music is everything. You can bring out every emotion within you.
It is
on your mood on the same day, mate. One song can make you laugh and it can make you cry.
Yeah.
This is why the television play music to every single thing they do. You never really have a fight.
Adverts, yeah. You see a symbol and you associate it with. You see an advert in a product and it's got music on it or something that you like. You associate that product with happiness. How dare they? How dare you try and rape my mind? Go on, mind rape is what it is. Mind rape.
That is true. It's true. Phonetically, literally, virt, V-I-R-T, virt, I think it's Latin, means program. Yeah. So an advert is adding a program.
Yeah.
Advert literally means to add a program.
Well,
it was called
listings. The listings are called programs. The programming, simple as
programming guide. It used to be called the Radio Times Programming Guide. Yeah, when I saw it on the.
Does anybody know where the RAM is in your head? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it the medulla or not? I can't remember. I'm an
Aries. It all begins at my station. I'm afraid. I looked into
it. So
that explains a lot.
A rise in the east. So you have a program, yeah, and pro is 4, yeah.
Yes.
G is the God, the realm, and the RAM is on the end. So it's 4 gods RAM or 4 gods computer. RAM is memory, is it not?
That's right.
In the computer, and in our head we have a shape of a RAM, which is our memory. Memory is memories. Memories is memories. You want memories, so you have more of them. But this RAM on our head program literally means 4 gods computer or your computer. So to be programmed is to be sent a diver into the mind, which is creating a thought process. And this is why thought and emotion is not trustworthy. There's 10 dimensions to this realm.
That's why you live your life through your mind's eye. You can feel your way. That's why your man can walk his way through life with his eyes closed, and you should feel what's right and proper.
Yes, be like water, my brother.
Yes, sovereigns. Use the fun.
That's how I feel my way. I trust myself how I feel. Never mind what the eyes are telling you, because they're 180 anyway. Everything's upside down until your brain twists it back round for you. So you can't always believe what you're seeing because it's made up. So what you feel.
Yeah. Exactly that.
Our
Yeah.
history is a long time. We've gone through history, and we've gone through a hell of a lot of history and research. We are a research panel, Josh, Andy, Kevin, Sister Karen. You are researchers in your own right. You've all given an element of time and a lot of time and sacrificed in some way, and you all are sacrificing. And that's why another reason why I respect and invited you on, and I'd like you to give your input and your dialogue and your opinions are crucial at these times, because the more of us that we can get that are diverse and from different backgrounds and doing different things to, you know, come together and take together these subjects, the better. Because yeah, it's good.
Well, I'm
I've
going to
got
tell
a
the
lot of
room now,
respect for
Dave.
you.
I'm going to tell the room what I told you backstage before we come live. Like, it's the capacities of man, and it's the twisted perverseness and personage and barratry that's going on here, and the way that they see us as more than merely, you know, chattel and cargo, and how the way that they've docked us and stuff and birthed us. It's more twisted than that through the birthing system once the registration takes place. Because not only are you seeing that way, then you come to the age of majority, as they call it, maturity. Majority is what they say, that age where you can, you know, marriage a woman and come together as one naturally under the creator. But they've twisted that as well. And back in the early days, they would give man certain rights over the woman and her person, so he could move about, you know, the estate as well. And it was well known of back in those days. But what wasn't disclosed is the fact of the capacities. And whilst man of the house, king of the castle, was donning around thinking with his newlywed that he was king of the castle, he was actually registered as father of the daughter he has just married. And this is why there's so much incest and buggery and so much other wrong nastyfulness that's coming on from the Vatican, because it's their twisted perpetual ways that they have picked up from the barbarian days. That's why we call it barbaric behavior. And they've took a lot of the barbarian ways and twisted it into what they would call under God, and twisted it all to the person. That's why they impose all of these rules and legislative acts, because they want you to enact, like you just said, the persona, the mask, in personam. They want you to be there for real doing it. It's like donning on a legal coat, and they attach all these rules and regulations to it, and you haven't got time to take it off before you're in jail. So until man truly knows whom he is in that capacity, that word capacity, it starts right there.
Yes, mate. Agreed.
It's wrong. It's their society. We've not done anything. None of us are dead. We're all alive. But in their society, for them to say they've got clean hands, they've invented persons and illegal, legal, the French for the Gaul. And yeah, they've created this system.
Man was under
They're not
bondage.
in honor. They're not in honor in
No, of
any. Just kind of
course.
finish. They're not in honor. But the way to sort them out is not to do a Guy Fawkes or to go get, you know, violent. And we could do something en masse and protest, you know, but you know, we'll see. We've seen how that ends, haven't we? So we'll give up with that. And the way to get out is to be intelligent, fox clever, and utilize the capacity, status, standing that we know that we've got, and declare. You know, I'm interested in some declarations, peace treaties, you know, articles of, and looking at, you know, where we can go with this. So you guys, you know, can stay or not. But Andy, there's some powerful stuff we've got here. In the next few weeks, we'll tell a tale. I tell they.
Mate, I've never been more ready. You know, when they say man's born ready, man's born for remedy. You know, you're born ready, and it's for the benefit of his person. And once you know how to implement that instrument, you're away, and you know who you are, and you know who the agents are, and you know how to compel them to capacity with the correct verbiage, the correct vocabulary. Keep it minimal, keep it sweet and simple. That which you understand, boom, you've got this shit. It's as simple as that.
And the word remedy, mate, you can see RE me right in there. So
That's why I say it that way. You know, everything is referenced. It's how you reference things.
Yeah. You re-legion, you re-add a book.
Yes, you reference. It's all a reference is. It's
or re-lig and on, re-lig, ligature.
I'm not religious, mate. I'm faithful.
No, I've done away with politics and religion. Yeah, we've just got the faith. We keep
because
faith.
You got Parliament, mate, but they're par in life to your ment.
Mm-hmm.
I'll parlay with you.
Man-made Parliament, mate.
Mind, mate. I see straight through them. That's funny. I was going to say, you touched on subconscious a minute ago. Subconscious language, did you? Dave. You said
Yeah.
something about the subconscious, and I was going to say language is so deep that it's all been intertwined naturally on a natural process. But there's something called subconscious language, and it's basically reverse. A guy called Professor David Oates is the leading guy in the world on it. Nobody's listening to him, obviously, because it's not people's time for that. But as we speak forwards, we also speak backwards. And our subconscious is almost like our empathetic pathway, where people say, "Oh, I get empathetic responses from people. I kind of know what they're thinking, right?" So every 9 seconds to 15 seconds, our subconscious blips and does speak in reverse. And if we are lying to someone or someone is lying to us, if we record it and play it back, the truth will come out in reverse. Young children, as young as 3 months old, you can play them backwards and hear them talk to you and ask you questions. Fact. Okay, so if this isn't unknown, this is the sort of spirit world that's moving around us. Our subconscious is not connected to our conscious mind on a low being left brain state. And what we need to do as avatars, we need to merge with our right side of our brain and move over to the subconscious world and become conscious of all this. And in doing so, you have more electrical signals, more neural pathways, more access to the higher conscious realms, and then this is when the information starts pouring in, as information is inner forming, and intuition is your inner tutor. And once you start doing virtuous things and start eating right, living right, thinking right, it's a natural human process. Even back in the day as Bruce Lee, I've just recently re-looked at Bruce Lee because of I haven't looked at him for years and years, and since my mind's developed, I thought I'd have a quick look at him. And he's saying that if you're too far, and I'll speak it so people would understand. If you're too left brain, you become robotized. And if you're not balanced with the right side of your brain, you aren't going to be or have any individual thoughts. You're just going to be a robot. So back in the day, Bruce Lee was trying to teach us as well, but on the same level, but the people weren't on the level that he was.
We used to be right brain though, didn't we?
Well, I don't know, but we were born out, I expect. Yeah.
We definitely need equilibrium, and that's what the Buddhists teach. You know, because I'm a petrol head, you know, look, I keep it, you know, keep to the white line in the middle of the road. Use all the tarmac available when required, but don't aim too high, and you won't fall too far. You know, don't have expectation and stuff. So stop in the middle, equilibrium, and you pull it from the left and the right side. Your thought balance, you know, what is right, what's wrong, what's proper.
Marrying an emotion, matter with mind.
Yeah, so it's all there.
That's right, mate.
And that's what yin and yang is, isn't it? You know what I mean?
X marks the spot. Positive, negative, masculine, female, 9 in the middle.
Well, there's only masculine and feminine, you know, female is a legalese word.
In the Hermetic principles, you've got the sexuality, I forget what the principle is now, the principle of sex. So it's not sex, but it tells you that even universes colliding to form super universes. And it's like, I watched this video of a computer CGI, you know, there was actually 7 recorded, allegedly. I know who it's from, NASA and the gang, but they're saying there was apparently out there 7 colliding universes creating a super, and it went into
your chakra, mate.
It went into the sex of everywhere there is the female and the male, but here on this Club of Rome, you see we have pale, stale male. That's why Sister's on the panel tonight. There aren't enough female alphas out there, and if you are classifying yourself as a female alpha, please email myself at david@splspro.com, and I'd like to say hello and get you on for a chat and see what we can where we can, you know, find you, because the female form and the left and the right brain, they are key. Me and Andy are quite soft. We were saying this the other day, were we not, Andy? We're too soft, but we know where our improvements need to be. But
I've got a big heart, mate. You know, I'm
we're too soft,
sympathetic, and those things. I have feelings, and I can't. I just because I'm a big, rough-looking bugger, it don't mean I ain't got no feelings.
You know, and the ones that run this economy, the ones that run this, what we call it, the executives and the principals that run this business for the for the people, are doing it for business, and they're too far right-brained, and they're quite sick and sadistic. To be fair, they've got no emotion, and they've been bought out, and their interest is not the animals, it's not the old people, it's not the babies, it's not the schools. Their interest is their pay packets and job security, and that's it. And even the order followers are only following orders because, you know, they're an officer, or they're a sheriff of sorts, and they're a king for a day, as I call it. You know, they get to be king for a day, but we want to be king ultimately forever in true honor, And yeah, I
Well, it's
respect
how we
you all
sung,
for
mate.
what you
We can
do.
be heroes just for one day. You know, we can
Yeah,
beat them forever and ever.
And to become a hero, mate, is her O, and her O is the void, is the dielectric field again. It's the black hole. It's the all life
It's
comes
her
from
own, mate. That's right.
that.
Her happiness. Hello. Mother
Hello.
Earth, baby. We was born as dust and we'll go back as dust, and enjoy it while you can and take back what's rightfully yours. Don't let the buggers steal it off you. None of us like a thief.
That's right. If nobody understands that what you just said there, we've acquired our physical bodies here because we eat of the earth. So we have actually acquired our physical bodies on this realm because of the earth, and we are made from the earth, and we will go back to the earth. So we
That's
are of
right.
the earth. Parents were of the earth,
That's
and
right.
it is the cycle that's happening here. The phi cycle, the physical.
That's
Anagrams: earth, heart, ether. Earth
That's
Heart
anagrams
is
is it as well?
Mother
Yeah,
Earth.
heart,
It's all
earth.
it's provided for us for remedy. We're born for remedy. The land, the air, the water is the law which we have dominion over. Man sets law. Man is case law. Without man, there is no law. So
right.
we live coincide with the laws of nature. What's natural to man? You know, it's as simple as that.
Land,
If
air,
you can't do right,
water.
then
We
within the
said
light, you're going to be in trouble.
land, air, water, law. Yeah.
Void the
God
wall,
granted
mate.
of dominion. It's God is within. We are granted the dominion, and we're to put back what we take, and don't take anything more than what we give. You know, and if we can give more than we take, that's what the good man does to leave the next one behind us. So if
That's
we can all
right.
just bear that in mind, then we'd all prosper.
Yep. And to become a king, it's not by luck, it's not by chance. The king, etymologically speaking, is K in G. G is is this game, the God realm. The G is this realm.
Yeah.
In, obviously, we know what in means. And K is the 11th letter, which represents the twin pillars of Freemasonry, which represent your left and right brain. Once man has mastered his left and right brain, he becomes a king and he wears his crown. This
I've
will
raised
and
my
only
levels,
will
mate,
be
above
when
the 33rd vertebrae. Don't you worry of that.
Whoa. Lovely, mate. Yeah. The 33 is a very special number, mate. And what were you saying earlier, Dave, about the Trump thing as well? Yeah, I was reading up. Yes, it was like yesterday or the day before. Actually, my good wife found it for me, and it was
A
back in
relative of Trump's, yeah, that sees Tesla's technology,
1480,
the
yeah.
office of alien property or something, and we were talking about the technologies then. Yeah, go on.
So back in 1480, there was a guy called Donald J. Trump, and he was coinciding with someone called Kim Jong. And they were basically chasing all the witches or trying to put the witch hunt in the media to get rid of these witches. And nowadays, there's a man called Donald J. Trump and Kim Jong, and they're also coinciding with each other on a world stage.
Yeah.
And then Dave brought to light to me that Tesla, is it Baron Trump?
I think so. Yeah, I've done some. Yeah. I'll find the stories on it. Yeah, I couldn't say
Yes,
now.
And the Trump Empire. Hello, what name to call you trust, eh? It's all there in your face.
Yeah,
Yes.
Empire. Yeah, go on.
Empire, the electromagnetic pyre, comes from the word spire. The word spire comes from spirit and spiral, which is
inspire.
magnetism.
Hello.
Yo.
Church spire. Church has spire as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and that spire was an electrical signal. Church is synonymous with the word kirk. Kirk is whorehouse. What's a whore? Or a hoarder? Somebody that gathers. A whore is a woman that has many men. This church gathers energy. It gathers energy and gives it out through the spire. But the buildings are...
The proper word for a whore in the dictionary would be a harlot. You know, a whore, it's a lot of men. It's a harlot. So there you go. Yeah. They're commonly known as. There you go. A working girl, a harlot.
Harlot.
Yes.
Well, yeah, that's we're moving on. Yes, Tesla. We've gone from Tesla to harlot, boys and girls. Tesla. We was talking about the technology.
Donald Trump's, worth money. It's all the realm is worth money. That's all it's about.
Yeah.
Evilness is the perpetual seeking of the evilness. It isn't what itself is evil, it's the seeking of it, and that's what man's got to slow down for, trying to better himself over the neighbour. We're all as equal. I've got to remember that in equity, we're all equal.
That's right, and there's technology here at play that can help us and drive us forwards without metered uses. And if Josh knows about Tesla's magnetic, dielectric, propulsion, 0-point energy, etheric content, you're an engineer and a builder of sorts and a petrol head, Andy. Kev's got agricultural and organic and growth and things, and he's got a lot of wealth of experience. Sister Karen's got sociological networking, managing database type stuff. I've got the same type applicable, transferable
We're all doing
skills.
our
So
own bit, aren't we?
yeah, I can see a great future for us lot here. This is really good. I'm so proud of us. Thank you all.
Yeah, we've got Graham as well, who's all heating, engineering, wizard.
He's built some Bob Beck's machines, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah, I mean, his main trade, he's like engineer, gas, electric, all of it. He's brilliant. Really
lad.
Yeah.
I can do the autograph with a welder if that's any good.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, but magnetic technology. Yeah, we've got. This system has kept us right at the point. Tesla said you can have when Henry Ford made the first wind-up car, electric petrol motor, crank start, and it was running on petrol. Tesla at that same point says, "Here, I've got this here. That's wireless technology, and it's got electric motors, and it kicks ass, and it's really easy to repair, and it goes very fast, and it doesn't use petrol." And they went, "No, we can't have that. You're a crackpot." And they signed up, right? They actually signed up with Henry Ford and made Tesla look like a crank, like they've made Jack Fresco. That's why I use the Venus Project. This shit's got to go on every cast just to let him, just because he's passed away, and I respect his proper. This is what we're trying to do, the Sovereign Freedom Project.
As a unit.
That's what we're spearheading here: freedom of mental slavery, freedom of financial slavery. We're financial debt slaves. We're mental slaves. We are slaves in many ways, and it's getting to a point now where, quite frankly, I think we've all had enough, and we can see that we have had the option in the past to have been free again, but they've re-enslaved us in religion, in money, in politics, in energy, and it's gone beyond a joke. When they tell us, "Oh yeah, the world's getting hot, and you need to be careful, and we got to recycle everything, and the whales are dying," but what are we doing? We're just continually feeding the furnace and the fire, and nothing's actually changing at all. Nothing at all. We're getting more sick, and there's more getting homeless. It's really quick to end up on the streets and lose everything, but it takes years and years to get back to where you was. Absolutely years.
They're just waiting for us to it's just waiting for us to do our job and make our own change and take control of our own life.
You hit the nail on the head earlier when you said that this is, because I've said the same when you said earlier that this system is pushing us to make decisions, and it's making us say, it's do or die, effectively, fight or flight. And these synchronicities with the astrotheological, this 21st of December, and the event that's supposed to happen, to re-encapsulate, me and Josh are familiar with the Malayan calendar 2012. After 2012 and the end of that said calendar, 7-year prophetic warning, adding up to 2019, and it happens to be the 21st of December 2019, where we think there might be some calendars out of date as well. So if any of you out there are quite into your lines, lineages, what are you saying, Josh? Bail me out here, mate.
Yeah,
there's a lot to say. Go on.
Yeah, it's quite deep, but everything's coinciding really with this year, mate, to be honest. I feel like the 2012 was a semi thing built up, so people who had a kind of conscious mindset kind of dropped it if they weren't quite there, and then they ignore the rest of their life, and say, "Oh, it was just all this BS," and etc., etc. Now this one's building up.
They ramped it up with the Olympics and doing good for less abled individuals and stuff like that.
Yeah, the Zion Olympics. Yeah, and
so they'll never revolt.
Exactly.
Yeah. The lining up of the planets, though, for the first time in 6,000 years.
Yeah.
I believe there's going to be it was when when the astronomers back then recorded it, they said the heavens fell down, and what they meant was they could see all of the celestial objects, but they'd never seen them before. And not only that, allegedly, due to these recordings, transcribes, and tablets and cuneiform text, and this is going back 6,000 years, fam. It's a long time. There's not a lot here. They've bombed the shit out of most of it, but what there is left, it says that there was great depictions of magnetic clusters and the aurora borealis, but like in crosses and circles around suns, and great magnetic things that the Grand Canyon apparently happened by an electrical discharge. It's fuck all to do with what. Sorry to getting carried away. It's nothing to do with water. They've lied to us on so many fronts, and they're saying that when this happens on December 2019. It will be the first time every 6,000 years, and also Pluto will be coming round, which is a large ice planet that kicks off a shitload of you know, gases and stuff because it's been cold for ages, and it suddenly comes around near the sunshine, and I'm quite excited about it, to be honest.
Right, it coincides with the blood moons, the three blood moons.
Oh yeah, go on.
The three blood moons that we're having now is obviously showing that we're actually realigning to the next age, yeah. And we will have a new sun being born. I think, Karen, on the sun and moon, you had a picture. I don't know if you can recall it in your mind right now, but there was a man who filmed near the north, and there was like the hourglass shape, the reciprocating hyperboloid shape.
It was a woman, wasn't it? In Sweden, you mean?
That's it. And there was two suns, yeah?
Mm.
And you could almost see the new sun being formed, ready for the next age. And this is what's happening. I don't know if this is going to be too much, but I want to explain that Trump is 72 years old, okay, this year. And 72 is a massive number. And I'll get to it now, and I'll try and explain, but because this is live, it might need to be played back when it's out. But basically, on the calendar, yeah, on a zodiac calendar, there's 30 degrees in each sign, yeah. So 30 times 12 is 360 degrees. But every year we got to move 5, as it is 365 days, yeah. So it would take 6 years to complete one sign. 5 and 6, okay. Phi and pi. So you got 5 times 6, which is 30 degrees. That's 30 degrees in each sign. Each quarter there is 90 degrees. So for 6 years in each sign, you times that by 3 in each quarter, you get 18. It takes 18 years to complete one quarter. 1 add 8 is 9. The magnificence of 3, 6, and 9. Okay. Then to complete the whole phi cycle is 18 years per quarter. So you times 18 by 4, and that equals 72. Okay. So for Trump to be 72 this year, it has massive significance. So this is why another thing that's making me think that that's actually this year. And then we have the 418, which is left by occultists under the mysticism side. And that's just 4 times 18, which equals the 72 years old, which is the full cycle. But then again, to complete the zodiac, you times 76 by 6, and then you get 432, which is the frequency of the cosmic healing energy in this universe.
Perfect resonance harmony for man.
Yes. And then you times 432 by 12 signs in the zodiac, and you get 5184. If you just do a quick Google search at 5184, you'll see that it means victory over the beast. And I won't go any deeper than that, but this is astrological, and I'm pretty sure when I seen that Trump was 72 this year, it just blew the lid off my head. So we just...
And that's what you do. You take the beast by the horns.
You got the Trump in his ears.
There's an old Sumerian, well, old, yeah, of course it's old, it's Sumerian, but there's a Sumer tablet from Sumer, and it's got the men with the pine cones, and it's got a bull, and there's one with a lion actually as well, but it's like it's depicting the ages of the DNA and the changing of, you know, everything's angled at the zodiac and the stars and the sun, even our mini stars in Westminster. West Mini Star and the mini stars, you know, and everything. They have whips and chief whips that go around. If the, you know, it's really weird how this system is set up. And now we've come to find out it's Achilles' heel is actually the language and the way that it's written and our use of it. And if we are to contract into their realm, it's like spell casting and the Black's Law, the Black's Dictionary, the Black's uniform,
the
the Black officers. It's quite, moon stars.
That's why you have a cast in a show or reading from a script. It's all casted and spelt out in front of us and programmed. It's all there in the words.
You just got free will. It's a scripture.
While they're filming. Hello. Dead easy, ain't it? While they're making millions off your ass.
Yeah, man. Great.
Calling it entertainment. Hello.
But what is tain? Tain is tainted. Enter the tainted mind.
Exactly. You know,
tainted your mind through the entertainment.
It's obfuscation. It's a complete obfuscation right from the very start, mate. Everything's with the mind. Like we said earlier, tell live vision. It's all their programming.
But we
Weird.
live in modern times, but the language that's being used on us, right, as a someone who likes to find the differences in things and analyze it, I see that these words that are modern, because television was made in the what 1950s, 60s or something to be precise, and it isn't a Latin or a kind of that realm doesn't need to label objects of this day and age. So the way that things have been labeled, it just shows you who is in control, and who is making the decisions. And
It's amazing, and it's a maze in G. It literally is a maze, and it's amazing, man. With the doctors as well, with the etymology, with the language as well. We know about gnosis, don't we? And
yeah,
then gnosis means knowledge, and dire, we know dire means through in Latin, but also dire in our phonetic speaking means bad. So you go in and get diagnosis, mate, bad knowledge, and then they go and treat your mind, and then you walk away feeling happy, but nothing's changed apart from you got more sick.
And that's
And
why
the
I
only
wrote
reason,
my diagram.
and the only reason why we get more sick is because we never took it upon ourselves to know how we should be eating, or think how we should be eating, and eat as we should from the earth.
Well, they've come out and they've said with studies of the body and what's happening now with information being turned on its head and everything we've been told being a lie coming out actually on the news, and they're telling it like they keep rewriting so many things. Recent studies show that other than them doing CRISPR, CRISPER in capitals, go and search that. That's genetic gene modification, choosing your super strengths in essence, Marvel technology, Iron Man, Tesla, not Tesla type shit, but what's he called now? The guy
Trump.
Elon Musk types. Yeah, it's just weird, that man there that they predict in Iron Man films. Who plays he plays Iron Man himself. It's just the likeliness. It's the films seem to be coming to life, but the technology what they've got now, they're like that it's beyond our stuff. We would never do that. It's damaging to mankind. It really is.
Yeah. But the trouble is, they're taking away, what they're doing is they're offering something to people that have no idea about the spirit side of this physical body, or the ability that we have, and to sacrifice the abilities that we have on the journey of unknowingness. Because when you get to a certain point, you realize what this actual avatar is capable of doing, but we're just tied down to matter. Then you're selling your soul and you're giving up the most beautiful thing in creation. Your avatar is capable of the most wondrous things. We only use cell phones now because we've gone down in consciousness and we can't use telepathy. There was a time before we could literally communicate across the world just by thought. All we have to do is bring it back and study and try and put our focus of energy and time on it, and these things happen. I can honestly assure you this.
Where the mind goes, energy flows.
Exactly, mate. And that is it. If you focus all your energy going to work, you're not going to know anything apart from being that man at work.
That's right.
Work to me, mate, is war with the K. And war with the K, your K is your twin pillars, mate. Every time people go to work, they just start stressing, talking to themselves, don't want to be here, I don't like this. The standard thought processes we have. We need to walk away from work and jobs. Jobs defined in Hebrew is persecution, I think.
Curse word, it's a curse, yeah.
Yeah, if to be persecuted. So yeah, language is always going to set us free. I know it's a bit of a tangent here, but do you want to pick back up on the topic, Dave, so we can find a thing, or are you happy just to roll at this?
No, I'll pick back up on the topic, yeah, unless anyone's got out to want to say and interject before. I'll have a look at the chat room. Well, we can do, yeah. Yeah, good call.
Because we just really need these people now who are resonating with what we're saying, just to stand up, walk away from their system. But before, just have a chat with us, guys, because we got some answers, and we want to do the same things ourselves.
Yes, it's all about where you are now, what mind state. Yeah, we can club together, we can share resources, we can pull resources, we can protect assets, we can we can give you health and wealth knowledge. We've got Josh here that's got some biological biochemistry, and we'll call it like herbalistic. We're herbalist at the end of the day, shamanic. If you want to know GCHQ, the only part of the government that listens, we are shamanic, peaceful soul sentient beings that are on a covenant with the great creator there. I don't know how else to put it, and we don't like seeing our family hurt and cut down and taken, and to be called have-nots and to be classed as subservient second-class citizens that don't have any rights or entitlements and get
Well, you're
shut
classed as a
out.
juvenile
Yeah.
delinquent. Every man is a juvenile delinquent in the eyes of the law until you come to the age of majority and stand up and say, hang on, no, I'm not.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Freeman, even the
Well-
free and the man, the Freeman law was the trap, because a freeman is not free.
That's right. None of us are free. We have free will. We are born with free will. We all have obligations and duties to one another. None of us are free. We have duties to Mother Earth herself. None of us are free from that. We have obligations and duties which we are bound by. That's the laws of nature here. Even if you think you're a free man, then you're in for some strife. You know.
Yeah, you just end up withering away and going back to soul quicker than you know it. Yeah, man.
Yeah, this is it. We got to. I've got an email. We'll put some contacts in. Like I say, I've put in the description all of the channels that are on, except for Kevin. But I've got we got contacts for Kevin, and I can put his channel on when I find it. Kevin, you'll have to comment in the chat room or something, or I'll have to see. I haven't found it yet, but we've got contacts for everybody. We've all got our channels listed there. There's an email at the private domain. We've got unique specific forums. We're creating the capability for us to communicate and network. So we do law. Ultimately, we don't do ecclesiastical or legal. Those realms are for the boat people as such, for the ones that have taken over with their boat people language and port passes and licenses. And we are now finding ourselves at a pivotal point with the birth of the internet and such work as what Andy, Kevin, Josh, and Karen have done. We now find ourselves under a torrent of information that they've had to give us under their realms of karmic retribution if they don't tell us, like in the films and the Dan Xperia meet your day to sell piss take advert that they've got going in your face, the Halifax with the Wizard of Oz actually there as well, and the fictional depths and the immense amount of blood that's been spilt, let alone the Gospels and the Scriptures and what Josh and Andy and Kevin and Karen have brought to us in their research and dedication of time and energy, sacrifice. It's time now for us to realise, and you lot that are listening on this channel that are scribing to it and it partaking as your reward for your discovery and discussions with us, then you are here to have the option of private agreement. When we say private agreement, we operate as man under that covenant, and we have trust as the ultimate currency. We do away with bars of gold, and we do away with fictional bits of paper that we allow to give monetary value to objects, and we'd start dealing in our own sweat and blood and tears as a family. And we'll look at the options. I'm all for that, because at the minute we're getting messed around by generals of an army of which I don't feel particularly comfortable with, and as much as we dissolve trust and reset relationships, they don't seem to listen. They've got a bigger gang than us. They send out men in black in multiple. They have sprays and guns. They're changing laws left, right, and centres, which actually aren't laws. They're public codes that are mandated from Westminster upon our persons. But nobody seems to know that, and they think they know the law, and it's just getting beyond a joke. We tried every avenue that's honourable without going to kick their effing arses. When I say kick their arses, like en masse, and get violent and repeat the mistakes of history. So you lot of the council, the guide, the assembly, will assemble our brains and we'll make a decision as a family, and we'll see what from now onwards, what resources we can gather, what if anyone's got anything to protect, if you have got what we call assets or collateral, and you're worried that overnight, because of the political, let me put this politely, farce that's going off in Westminster with these public school boys doing their jobs with the cabinet, shadow cabinets and generals and mini-stars, you want to protect that and lock it down, then you can speak to us, myself, Andy, Josh, or Kevin. I would say yes immediately. Sister Karen's got enough on, and she's also learning. So we will help you, and we will assemble. Assemble is what we do, and manage. And simply put, thank you all for being a part of that. Yeah,
it's like this in my mind, mate. It's you are the infinite one, generating yourself as free agency or awareness. Structurally speaking, there is but one free will or awareness, and you are looking through it and from it right now.
Oh wow. Yes. Lovely.
He's back, and he's back.
That's so true, mate. And
So
remember, everybody, that law is a wall, mate.
everything's within. We're all within. The laws within us. The good and right and proper's within. Like hearing me now, you're not hearing me at home and where I reside, where I'm dwelt. You know, you're hearing me within you. Everything's within you. And we accept that fact and trust our own faith within ourselves and those around us, because inward manifestation outwardly attracts, and those that will have faith in you will be around you too. So that's how you have your strength in numbers and your unity, your you and I in the T, which is as we all know, the Taurus field where it all starts. So strength,
Magnetism, mate.
that's how we have the strength and the magnetism, the pull of the tide. That's how we come together.
That's
and
right.
we create our own tidal wave, and that's how we wash these buggers out of their boats.
Yes, mate.
Oh, bless you, Andy.
Humans don't have rights, do they, guys? We know that. If someone says, I want my human rights, does a human mean you have rights? It means you have no rights and you're not entitled to any man.
Hue is colour. Hue is colour.
Yeah.
And obviously it's the colour of man, and you'll get dealt with the black's law and the colour of law. And it's not the law of man, the natural proper to us, natural privatas. That's where we're at.
And they use black because it's lacking duality. B lack. 2 is B. B is the second alphabet.
It's death. It's for the corporate person, the corporate body. The deceased lying down, and that's why they preach, get up, stand up for your rights, because you're man standing, not lying down.
The phonics of person,
right side of your brain, you should quickly get some information from.
The phonics of person, like ladies have a handbag with a purse in it, and have you got your purse on you? Purse on. Pagan, pay again. Pagan.
Yeah. So they want you in persona, to step up in personam as a person, and it's all very tricky with the words, and you've got to be very careful because they'll tie you up in their legalistic lingo, and it's just keep it fee simple with yourself, and that's how you trip them buggers back over with a layman's lingo. Keep it that easy.
Well, funny you should say that, brother. Going on a lawful legal tip, I've had to look at the rulings and the governance from the justice .gov.uk department for a bloke that you are aware of for claim of personal injury from the medical side, and you have to if ever you're going to lay claim, Famalan, in law, then we've brought to you the rulings of the system, like the one who makes the claim must provide the burden of proof for one example. So then once you've got that proof, and now you want to get them suckers and you want them to get them to pay, there are 2 ways of doing that. Going back tribal and barbarian ways, we used to go out there and sort it out ourselves. And that was the way, like in the Bible times, not the Bible times, but as it says in the Bible, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, don't cross anybody, don't steal. So if we had an injustice done to us, we didn't always have the Law Society. Newsflash, okay? We had systems. We used to have pistols at dawns. We used to, hello, I've got a disagreement with you. Pistols at dawn. Okay, Roger what? See you in the morning. And that's how we settled it. The cowboys, in the bars and that, how they depicted them with the shootouts. They didn't, the sheriffs and that, how it was, the Wild West. And there wasn't all these justices. It's only with alleged evolution of man, but really it's de-evolution. This Roman Catholic Rome club here is devolutionizing man. It's taking our intelligence and our blood with it.
Yes, because their jurisdiction comes from their own jurisprudence, and the jurisprudence is a theory or an opinion. So persons are being imposed upon by a theory or opinion of a group of individuals that have been elected by their own selves and bringing forth their own jurisprudence, where they're writing their own rules and regulations every day for their own employees, might I add, or the citizens, or
who's chosen to work
and all these peoples, a body corporate of peoples that they're imposing themselves on, and until you know whom you are. And there's a great little line in there, because there's a few flat earthers in the chat room tonight, and it says here that water never lies. And it's a great truth, because man is predominantly water. And bring it back to what you're saying earlier, when you feel the vibration, when you have the high resonance that we're at in that high vibrational mindset, you can feel these things. And it brings me back to what I was saying also, that you can feel your way through the life through your mind's eye, because we are visionaries. We have these visions and we can see things. We can see what's going to happen if we do something. If I hit this window with a hammer, we can see that it's going to break before I've hit it. So we have what's required, everything's within, and we need to have the faith to instill it and install it into others, and it's all as it is, really. As separate as
being
idols and everything
tested.
else. That's
It's like
right.
we've got a test. It's like, I shit you not, it's like
That's
we've got a test
testator.
between us. It's our testamentary evidence. Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Otherwise, life wouldn't have a purpose, would it?
The synchronicities, do you know why? It's because of all the weird numbers. And Josh, yeah, I've told you about it. It's gone beyond a joke and
Mate, I've
scary
had
now.
plenty of number synchronicity in my life.
Andy, I'm gonna say, you know, yeah, you go on it. That stuff with Olderhay and the dates and your nan and stuff.
Yeah.
That was super scary stuff. Weird.
Yeah.
Not scary, but just
Awesome.
powerful. Power.
Yes. I've had my life saved on a certain date, and then 19 years later on exactly the same date at the same time of night, we're at PM of the evening, we are talking to a representative of the Vatican, a high member of the clergy, whom was within the Westminster Square jurisdiction, that mile there, with high capacity. And myself and Brother Dave have compelled him to do what's right and proper under the eyes of the Creator, not that of God. And I virtually stripped him everything that he was wearing in his white dog collar that evening, and compelled him, and he even disbelieved his own religion. I think he went home and resigned. And
Black priest, yeah, he was a black priest.
The numbers
yeah,
that was there, mate. And I didn't think till afterwards, like, oh Lord, that was my own anniversary of being alive and stuff. And now we are to keep others alive on that very day. And bloody hell, it brought a tear to my eye afterwards, you know, when you sit and think of these things.
Nothing's by coincidence and nothing's by chance. That's more of the Hermetic principles. It's all because of the messages. And if you are, the thing is with wisdom, if you are at the age, or Josh, you've said this a few times in this chat, if you're ready for it, it will fall on your ears and you will see it and you will interpret it. If you're not ready for it, they will just be words. There will just be words.
I was 25 at the time, and 2 and 5 is 7. It must be my lucky 7. You know, it's how it goes, ain't it?
It comes with your research, and some of us are born awake. Like DNA, a gram of DNA holds a terabyte of information. You know, that's a lot of information. DNA holds information, so we can have it given to us. Our DNA can provide us if we tap into ourselves and do what we're being promoted to here by Josh and some of the panel, and live more cleaner lives and conscious lives, then our mental state and our overall realms will become better.
We'll have more resonance with each other. Exactly.
Clean hands, clean mind. Sorry, I was going to say clean hands, clean minds, then, because we say clean hands in law.
That's what it's all about, you see. It's oil and water. Listen, so your mind is oily, it's dirty. It will tell you your arse is fat in your dress. It will tell you got an ugly face. It will tell you all these things. But your heart resonance, your passion is different to your mind. Don't get your passion mixed up with your emotion. That you know, and it will cause you friction. And that's where it comes back to the resonance then, and your feeling and your vibration, then, because you'll trust your heart and your gut, your fight and flight instinct, your basic, most natural feelings that you have, rather than intuition, because your mind's telling you to go and do something else. Or let's go shopping to ignore it. Let's go and get drunk to ignore it. Let's go and do these other substances to ignore it, or do whatever you do to masquerade what's really going on within you. We must face up to these things, come to the age of maturity, and say, "Whoa, take responsibility for yourself and those around you, and all will be well."
That is so true.
It's so true. Everyone's denying themselves. Everyone's denying themselves of being themselves and masquerading in other ways because they don't know how to be themselves, because they're trying to be like him next door or her next door. That's all they know how to do, copy one another. They're frightened of being themselves.
And when you do that, you'll see the matrix work for what it is, because if you're always running from the truth and you're sheltering the truth, right? For example, we just use food as an example. If you're running from the truth that the food you're eating is hurting you, okay, then your body will put you in a position to make a change. So your body's
the universe will deliver you a hammer. That's right. It will do something to you. You'll end up wrong. That's right. That's what goes on there. Inward manifestation.
Every corner, there's help. Every corner. If you're feeling the stress, you need to look inside yourself to find the answer, because the stress is only coming from within. The liberation comes from you making those changes. And then what Dave was saying, numbers, the messages, the synchronicities all become a part of you. And then you see life for what it is. And then you can guide yourself through life with feeling instead of thought and emotion on impulse. And it becomes a pleasure.
One man is not to suffer, because back to the dictionary, to suffer is to allow.
Yes.
And
The word
we
allow,
allow these things.
subconscious language, is all owed.
That's right, to man.
And we're all owed everything. So why are we asking if we're allowed this and allowed that? If we're allowed it, we're all owed it. So we should be getting it.
Simple. That's the entitlement. Back to the rule, not a benefit.
All odial title.
Exactly.
All odi.
I have the all odial title of my property, fruit of my loins, with my vested interest, and which I shall benefit from exclusively within society of others. Thank you very much. You proved otherwise.
Beautiful. And nobody can and nobody will.
I know that. I know that. I've proved it. I've done it in 2001, brother.
Yes, well done, mate.
with 2 pieces of paper, I add. No, I didn't go in with a big old case file. 2 pieces of paper and myself.
Yeah, I've proved everything to myself as well, you know, and that's all I needed to do. And I was so uplifted, freed from my thought processes, and I live in no fear. And I'm just happy to make moves now. And I'm just looking for my family.
For each a role.
That's right.
Have we got any location in England, landmass Anglo, that we've secured yet, Josh? Anywhere? Can you say?
At the moment, I'm actually currently getting some from a county right now. So I don't want to say too much, but the next couple of weeks.
But
yeah, the next couple of weeks, I'll have an answer. It's about 6-7 acres, and I'll have an answer for everybody within the next couple of weeks. It's just like a small holding to grow fruit and vegetables, have as a base. We've been offered a nice place up in Nottingham with 2 acres of land that we can grow on, farm on. There's just a lot of opportunities happening right now. We've been offered to go other countries, but it's just about finding our little root family. Then we make decisions ourselves, because to be honest with you guys, if I've got my little family and an extended family, at least 10 people with me, I'd walk I'd walk anywhere in the world with everybody, and I'd learn doing it. I'd study water, I'd study trees, I'd study the earth, I'd eat with the earth, I'd eat with the plants. I'd learn my reality around me and enjoy doing it. So I'm just happy to make new steps to just pass stage 1. We've been stuck on Groundhog Day for so long. It's time to get out of this Groundhog Day and get to the next level.
That's what's gone on here now. We've safeguarded our foundation. Everything starts at foundation, key stage 1, they say. And in law, when foundation is wrong, all is wrong. So from our foundation of life, we've been indoctrinated into a belief system. It's as simple as that. So now that we have changed that core belief and we have new foundation, we're now building our own, blocks. We're laying down our own pathway, which we are now walking safeguarded with ourselves and those around us by that which is proper to us, which is our property, our property to man. So we have possessory right. We don't have outright. We don't own any one thing. I don't own my children. They belong to me. They're proper to me, like I'm proper to them and I belong to them.
Yes.
But they don't own me and I don't own them.
Yeah, that's right. Because everything's an attachment. And if it's attached to your mind, how can you be spirit and free flowing? Exactly. If it's just all left brain.
And that's why you must separate the mind from the heart resonance.
You must get rid of your attachments. So true, mate. The attachments is what's keeping everybody held down to the matter, the material, the matrix. Yeah, man.
Material. Material. Hello.
Matrix.
Hello. It's all there in front of us, you see. It's just you got to look with your eyes open.
Yeah.
I've said it before that, a seeing man that's blind is worse than a blind man that sees.
Yes.
I like that.
The thinker, isn't it?
Yeah. And if anybody's got anything about the way that police and policy and these sort of things among a community, obviously the police are stopping the communities from working among themselves to stop the badness.
Because they're policy enforcers, they're enforcing the role of the sea. And until the man doesn't step up and say, hang on, I'm not a person, and your office doesn't belong here in my office, your rules of office don't apply to my rules of my office. Would you like to impose my rules onto your office? You won't be able to afford them this week. You're going to have to get some bonus in. We're going to take your house off you.
Just stick them on the ice, mate, and they'll no longer be off ice.
That's right, mate. Without a skate up the creek, without a paddle, that's how it goes.
Exactly. So in our own village, we or our own community, if there was one bad egg, I'm pretty sure the community would sit down and reason with that bad egg and say, "Hang on a minute, bad egg, we don't like that here. We work like this, and if you don't want to work like this, bad egg, you can go and be with the bad egg somewhere else. But right here, we love living in harmony, and this is how we work. And you know, everybody has their free will, but we don't want no negativity and no badness. And that's how policing or policy in your normal village, it would just be a standard reasoning. Everybody would sit in a
that's
circle.
trust. So we'd have a trust, we'd
Yeah.
have a declaration of trust, and that trust would have then, that bad egg would have broken the trust. So then what we have to do is look at the breach of trust, like the trustees, whether it be Theresa May, the principal, the executives, you know, and all the way down, and even what Catholic Roman pontiffs and such things as, and friars and all this lot that have done, you know, you've got these different
Those
churches.
called jurisconsults.
Yeah, so that wouldn't happen.
What we know now as council.
Yes.
It's all in the words there, mate. Jurisconsults of the jurisprudence, mate. What's imposed on the person. The person was created by government. The government was created by man. They are not above us. We're all as equal.
So it's self-governed, and that self-governance would come under that trust.
Under a covenant. We have no governance other than our own. We know what's right and wrong, taught by our forefathers.
Yeah, but
how can an idea tell man what to do? Tell me that. How could an idea that man created tell man what to do?
Black magic. It's all occult necromancy, black magic bullshit. It's bad for you. Don't do it.
It's all an illusion.
Listen. I'm gonna forget. What did you say? The police were like what? At supermarket the other day. What were you saying there? Go on. That was beautiful. The way you, because Andy, listen to this. What he said about the police.
Said the other day on the chat. I just said people didn't realize that police are just Tesco, and they've literally just tricked everybody to go along with what they said. Yeah, no different.
Yeah. IBM computers are most of Devonshire constabulary. They're all there. They all operate for fine and forfeiture. The DVLA, everybody, the road ministry, all these transport, they all operate for profit. They're all registered on Duns and Bradstreet. Duns and Bradstreet is registered as a religious operation. The Federal Reserve is registered as a religious organisation. Everything leads back to one place. That one place has its strings pulled by a few families, and it's those that are ruling supreme at the moment. So,
and then you look at the wording, Papa L, ready? Papa L.
Bull.
And then you see the word, it says Papa L. Well, L means God, Papa means dad, so it's the Godfather.
That's right. And that's why early in the day when you was in wedlock and they married you under the ecclesiastical rule, you wouldn't be husband of the home. They would class you as father. And that's why they would bring the womb man, they would bring out of tutelage and put her in the capacity of daughter of the house. And that's how man took the rights of her person and the rights of woman in the same foul swoop. They give the man them few inalienable rights that he had anyway, that they're given back to him through the state, and from his bondage, took away her tutelage, and in some instance, man even had to pay monies to take women out of tutelage to be married.
Wow.
Why don't you just tootle along, Andy? Why don't you just tootle along?
It's written in the Canaan law, it's all there. And that's why you have the tutors in these indoctrination camps.
Yes, and what we wanted to stress was, as beautiful and as appreciated and as eloquent as that was put and is, Josh is pointing out, and what we want to get across is when an officer meets you and there is no crime, it's equivalent to a corporation, a business coming up to you and trying to establish some kind of contract where they can fleece you.
And it's all in the language.
Rather than them say, I'm going to fleece you, what they say is, we think you've been naughty and you need to come with us, in which case
you've broken one of my rules that doesn't apply to you, so I'm going to impose myself on you now. And we're meant to give those against us, you know.
Yeah, so it's a policy of a business. It's not the law, and it's a policy of a business. Yeah, like a shop. It's not like there's justice being done. It will involve you having to put your hand in your pocket and pay them money. 9 times out of 10, Dan. I'm telling you, and that's what Josh was explaining.
So when we are actually going in with these policy enforcers, what you need to do is just do the same thing back to them. So you need to tell this guy, if you think you're
Bills.
going to unlawfully kidnap me, mate, then I'm going to get you done for unlawful kidnap. And that
Oh,
unlawful
yeah.
kidnap can be a long time in prison.
Abduction,
detention and
not
things.
kidnap,
Make them
not
warn.
kidnap. We're men, so not kidnap, but yeah, abduction, harm, you know, assault, battery. Yeah, try not to use the word kid, but you're right. Yeah, bill them for the harm, injury, and loss, damages that is incurred to the man. No torts and infractions here. It's actual harm, you know, like in the courtroom scenario where we haven't given the judge, the robe, the banker any authority, and he orders the officers or security to throw you out of the courtroom. Yeah, and we say to the officer, if you touch us, then under common law, under your full public liability, John Smith, you will pay for assault and battery on me today because I've not committed a crime and he's not got authority. I'm in my own venue, so be forewarned. You try and eject me out of this venue of my own today, you'll be getting a claim for damages, and they sometimes don't touch you. So yeah, you're right. We do bill them and we do charge them, but yeah, the word kidnap we have recently revised into assault, battery, harm, injury, loss, and stuff like that. We're just constantly evolving,
an immature goat, mate, an immature goat. Somebody that hasn't figured out.
We don't have kids. We don't have kids anymore. We used to. We've woke up, haven't we, Andy? A bit. We've come round full circle. Yeah. No offence intended.
No kids. No child. Child rent. Child is a property of corporation. We don't have any properties of corporation here. Thank you. No people. No body corporate. I do have a corporate body, which I do carry with me, and I can present at any given time if it benefits me. However, that's just how you operate. You don't
man nor his person, neither are bonded for the corporate arena anymore. We have been, but since this is what we're saying, fam, we're no longer bonded for the corporate arena. We have an instrument for that, should we choose, not by assumption, not by presumption, not by tacit, and not by tort.
I was going to say a minute ago, when you said John Smith, you just started a little idea in my mind. So you know the surname is the surety name to do with commerce, yeah?
Yeah.
So we've been given that surname, and that surname was initially to do with the realms of commerce. So the reason why John Smith is the most popular name in the country is because the first business was Smiths, blacksmiths, makers. So that's why Smith is the most common surname in this country, because it was about to do with the blacksmiths and the makers. So the people that were actually starting commerce were the ones that were making everything. So the first surnames were given were Smiths.
Nah, because they were in the commerce, so then there was and they did well and had money.
Yeah, so we didn't have a surname. Biblio speaking, mate. You know, your Christian name is your God-given name. The surname is the surety name given to you for commerce.
Calling.
We call it a calling. Commercial realm. I have a given calling from my family. It's Andy. Everyone that knows me calls me Andy. Some of my family call me Andrew. But
this is important, yeah.
My name, I know you're here to do business, and then I can instantly.
My name is Nam.
Like Wurzel Gummidge. No, I don't have a name. My name is Mr. Sovereign Smith. If you want to call it a name, and it's going to cost you, I must benefit from it in some way, shape, or form. You know.
Yeah.
So
when the name's even spelled Nami. It's Nami.
Maim of a horse, horsing around, horseplay, maim. Name. There's something to do with that as well, I read. But yeah, everyone, we imagine in a court case scenario, where is Mr. David Jeremita? I demand he is present or answers, you know, to the claims and charges. You know, and who are you? Well, how can I be a name? I am not a name. I am not that name. Yeah, that's what I ultimately need to convey. I was given a name at birth. Yeah, I was given a name. Like Andy's just said, I was given the name David. That is my full name. There may or may not be a middle name, irrelevant. And there is an estate name and a family name. Now, you want me to claim the name. Why? Because it's deception. So that's why we've put this publication out there. The free publication we'll give anybody for free. It's on the .com for a download.
So there you go.
Oh, your honour, my honour, not your honour, but my honour. We have a calling. My calling is Andrew. My calling is David. That is my calling. I'm commonly known as Andrew. I'm commonly known as Sovereign Smith, Smithy. I'm commonly known as Disco. Josh is known as, you know, X-Man, whatever. Yeah, that's how you're commonly known. That's your calling. Anybody that's in the private knows you as X-Man and Smithy. We don't need ID. I don't need a signature from you. We have trust. But in that courtroom, they want all of them particulars, and it's like that name is my, you know, the person is the beneficiary. He can benefit by way of fines, fees, and forfeitures, and I use him today here in commerce. You know, they're trying to get you because they've taken that bloody name and they've capitalized it, and they've used the capital Dominicus of the Latin and
Because
the
they
ancient dogma.
capitalise on it. It's
Oh,
all
yeah,
about
the capital city.
Capitalism. That's what
The
it's all
capital
about.
cities, yeah, and they've done all of this with the electricity and the etymology. We could go on for
So
hours.
we're
boys,
here in
yeah.
our capacity to put a cap on the city and tell them who the
Stop,
jack we
yeah,
are.
gangster. Yeah,
You know
sorry.
what I was?
So,
Go on.
no, I'm just going to say that our names are words, and words are swords, and our swords are sharper than they've ever been. I yield.
Oh, they are. Sir, they are. Oh mate, I forgot. I was going to say the country. Yeah, the country we are existing in, or the business we're existing in, is a failing business right now, and we're all about to go into voluntary insolvency, and then continue working for the company while it's in there if we don't make changes right now. And it's about time to I'll bring it back to that. It's about time to think about that, guys.
Your sound's gone a bit funny there, brother. You've come over
Yeah. Is that better?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I think I put my finger over it. I was saying, yeah, we're in a country now that's about to go into voluntary insolvency, and we're all working for this country under company's house.
We're already insolvent, mate. There's nothing backing the money since 1931.
Well, yeah, the illusion of insolvency.
Yeah, publicly, according to Joe Public.
The word is insolvent. Yeah, it's and everything that they put out there is solvent because they glue it, they stick it to you. It's a you know, a DC.
Stick it to you, sticking it to you.
They're also telling you there to solve that problem. You have to look within. It's insolve and ants. They represent us. The ant represents us. That's why informant, infant, ant represents us. Yeah.
And that's why mother is one of their words, because mother is the informant, which is on the birthing docking certificate. The you know. The event, the registration of the event itself.
We're ANTs. So we're ANTs. A man has been turned into ants. That's one I've not come across before. Thank you.
Right. So basically, the ant.
What the
ant is like an. T is the physical. So,
ANT, yeah.
Yeah, it's representing your physical, but like informant or the infant, or you know these ants.
Infantry. That's right.
Representing the physical again, but ant is there for representing our physical in language.
None of it's by chance. It's all planned. It's so
we're all running around like worker ants trying to feed our little families, mate. That's what it's always. It's a game for them. I'm not ready to play anymore. We know that
I'm done.
Play better than them. That's all.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, even we are done, because even though you may contribute for 50 years of your life in sweat equity, tax, PAYE, NI contributions, you get on your arse and you want some money, and they'll say no because you don't tick all of the boxes or fit the current criteria. So unfortunately, you get denied help. But that wasn't the agreement when we started paying the contributions. It was pay contributions. We'll help you when you need it. Because you've paid contributions, you're getting back what's already yours, let alone us finding out we're the goddamn creditors and settlors as kings. And now we're, oh dear.
You got the con word, con.
Right, brothers and sisters, it's late for me. I've got things still, got people coming around as well, so I'll have to love you and leave you all. Thanks for having me. It's been emotional and sometimes touching. We'll catch you.
I'd love to speak to you, mate, and I hope we speak more.
No problem. Thanks for having me. Thanks, everyone.
Cheers. See you, mate.
Have a good night,
Thank you,
mate.
Andy.
Thank you, everybody.
2020, Mad Dog. Peace and love.
10-10. Keep it real.
Hey. Much love.
I love you, guy.
Bye, darling.
We can only keep it real, can't we? Real, everybody. Real. Keep it real.
Israel. He is real. Israel.
What a very lovely, knowledgeable guy, mate.
Do you like him?
Oh, I love him, mate.
Yeah, he's great.
What a lovely, knowledgeable guy, man.
He does have a way with words. He is known for his dialect, his exclusive dialect that he uses. Vocabulary, even. Every word is chosen explicitly for that meaning. He's one of them men that can hold such a vast vocabulary and just select at random, at will, constructively at the right time, all of them array of words in the right sequence, calmly. With me, I have to spit it out at 100 miles an hour because I'll forget it. I have this thing where if I get it out fast, I can do it. But if I go slowly, halfway through, I'm like, what am I on about? Oh, no, I've lost it. Yeah, so, you know, good credit to him. He's taught me a lot. So much
Yeah.
he's taught me, bless him, yeah.
He seems like he's very stable and balanced as well. No, he does. Honestly, genuinely looks like somebody who I'd like to be around, you know?
Yeah, he's a good man. He is a good man. He's done a
Well,
lot
I'm glad
of good.
that you're all connecting.
Thank you, son of
Yeah.
me.
Samfu, yeah, for Samfu, we love you.
We love you too.
So, David, what are you saying then, mate? Are we saying, is there anybody in the chat room that's been interested tonight? Is there people that have been resonating with the
Yeah, they
Babylon
can eat.
extraction?
Yes, the family is well interested in the. We call it. We've been looking for what you've proposed the other day on the video is what we're calling a universal non-sectarian remedy for all.
Yes.
When we say we're looking for that in many ways. So we are intelligent, cognitive enough to realise that we can find that in many ways, and I'm seeing that there is a good response and. Andy Wordsmith from Gumshoe, yeah, Andy Wordsmith, not Suffering Smith, because he's so good.
It won't take many of us, mate. That's all I'm saying. It won't take many of us.
I'll see
5, 10 people, mate. I'm telling you now, 5 or 10 people will make a massive impact already, you know. If we can just get ourselves together, then it'll be 11, 12, 13, 14, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. However far we want to go.
We have private men on the .com that are interested. I can say at least 3 that have emailed, and I'll encourage. Have you got a contact other than your channel? Have you got an email we can pass out for contact or?
Yeah, I'll give it to you, and you just do what you will with it. Yeah, do what thou will.
Yeah. Or we can. I've got the luxury of making emails for the .com and giving you like an allowance, and you can set that up on a phone. So I can give you like an email. You don't have to, but we can utilize. That's what I mean with the technology. We've got all these things at our disposal to organize, manage, outline, go digital, full shebang. So I can manage it with my email. Anybody that wants to work with us with this conceptual, private agreement, in addition to the others that have already shown interest, you'd email David at splspro.com. Josh, we'll get you an email sorted and promote yours when you've sent it me. I'll put it in the description of this video. Karen and Kevin have all got their contacts through the .com and through the channels as well. So
before the bankrupting, before the water spills out of the bank.
Well, God knows, we're probably in for another mud flood or something. I don't know the way things are cropping up all over, weirdness. But wow. Yes, it is the boat people and the commerce. The way that the reason why Theresa May's getting such a hard time with the backstop Brexit and all of this is because of the money and the commerce and how much the generals want from the EU want for us to get out and how much it's going to be. It's just money. It's just commerce. It's nothing to do with any kind of goodwill to man. So
it's just busyness, baby. It's just busyness, keeping everybody busy.
Busy bees, yes. Honeymoons, babies, yes. I'm aware of the honey and the bees and the way that they've got us going like that. So if anybody has picked up anything from this hangout tonight with us and wants to invest or get protected or both, then contact myself at that email and we will put you in touch, and give you the connections for moving forward with us. Perhaps we can get an information pack together, Josh, over the next few weeks.
Yeah, maybe I'll come up and spend a few days out there and we'll just write an information pack up. Or we could do it separate ends and forward it together and just, something needs to happen for these people just to allow the initial fear to sort of disperse, because I know how fearful it is, when people got families and they think, oh, I got my house here and da-da-da. If somebody went to a festival, for example, right, and it was a nice festival, like people were eating nice food and it was lovely weather and people were having campfires and they were smoking their chalice and they were reasoning, and every day something was being created by everybody. We were creating new things, new houses at the end. People would be in their element, man. Like literally, people do not have any idea the emotional or the feeling that people could feel by just pulling it together. We haven't felt it yet. It's something completely new, and the feelings that we will get
back
is
to
going to...
source, the old world, you know, the new world testament, the new world, even the old world. We're getting back to the old ways, and something that is connecting back to source, back to how not living in, you know, we'd still have Wi-Fi, electricity. How much log cabins are is irrelevant compared to how much you would pay in you know, fees and interest, and not having even the rights to the property ever. You just got the rights to access because of the equitable interest and charges, and the way this system, the house wins 9 times out of 10, and it makes sure it does. With us, you would win 10 times out of 10, and it would all be based on trust, honorability, and strength in numbers as a private, newly established. You know, I don't know how to. I'm being careful to choose my words, but
Yeah.
and it seems a great benefit for the uncertain times that we're in now, and the ever. You know, every day we're reading and hearing about the alleged loss of rights, and how we don't lose rights, we submit them, but they take away our privileges and our, and what is it, liberties, Statue of Liberty. Liberties is what
Privilege, mate.
Liberties is what's given to a sailor when it gets port passes and is allowed to leave the boat, and is goes on shore for shore leave with his port pass and gets liberties. And that's what we're losing because we are classed as boat people. But go on, brother.
We see is land, don't we? We see islands. We see is land.
Is land. Yeah, well, this is it, and it's our land. And if there's been our forefathers have fought battles, and we've had all these invasions, and Spanish and French and Vikings, and this great land. I know there's Egyptian DNA, and we are what we are, and we're all family. And now we've got an invasive force that is taking assets, heritage, taxing on everything. It's putting taxes on sugar. All sugary drinks, pops, and chocolates have gone up. What they do,
to get people to stop buying it.
They get you addicted. They get you addicted to a drug, and they don't tell you it's a drug, and you give it to your babies, and then they go, right, now you're all addicted. We're gonna tax the fuck out of it. Sorry for swearing, everybody, but that's them and what they do. Cigarettes. They got everybody on cigarettes because it gets the phlegm off your chest. It's good for you. Smoke fags. Doctors seen smoking cigarettes and advertising them. There's that, go look, there's videos out there. And then they'd said, oh, don't smoke fags. They're really bad. They're poison you, kill you. But we've got you addicted, so it's too late. Oh, man, it's horrible. It really is.
So they're in it, my brother, the double-edged sword. At the same time, they dangle it in front of your face, but they also say, this is costing a lot of money for you now. We're trying to get you off it. If you want to keep spending your money on it, you're going to trap yourself. But there's the double-edged sword again for the people that are suffering, you know. It's trying to force them not to smoke and not to have sugar, but the opportunity was there to fall into deep sleep.
Our water is given additives. Nobody voted. There was no bill passed or no public access, you know, suggestion and will was given to put fluoridated, hydrochloride, fluoride, and all the rest of the crap that's in the water, let alone cocaine and estrogen and all other stuff that's left as residue, pharmaceutical toxins, neurotoxins, steroids, all coming out your tap, and you're paying for it. When we live on a planet that's in a realm, it's 80% the plains. It's just incredible that we go and drink this filthy, poisoned, you know, liquid, and it's just all wrong. Everything, yeah.
It's all recycled back in the same system because the same system is existing. No one's choosing to move out of the system of pain. And until we move out of this system of pain, we're not going to experience love or life. And this is why we're here tonight, everybody, because we want love and we want life, eh?
That's right. Yeah, enough of the poison and the cancer, please.
We've just had enough. It's about time now. We've got enough minds that are on this level to just start. Yeah.
Well
we've got
said,
the technology. Josh. Technology we've got. Go on, Kev.
Yeah, sorry, I've been really enjoying, you know, sitting back and taking it all in. It's been some great discussion going on tonight. So you have to excuse my lack of inclusion. I've been really enjoying it. As I say, Josh has come out with some brilliant.
Nice,
you know, love the ideas.
Yeah, it's just that time now. I've had enough of doing it on my own as well, you know.
Let's move it on.
Yeah. I've had enough of doing it on me, and I've experienced a piece of the cake, and I'm back here to take everybody or show everybody that there is something so easy just waiting for us just to walk away from Babylon. And the how it's so simple to extract yourself from Babylon. And I can tell you, as an individual man, I can disperse Babylon in seconds. All you need is the knowledge. And with many of us, there's no chance. We're free. Come on, let's just free our mind, because we've been governed in our mind.
Yeah.
Free our mind.
I agree, mate.
Yeah, man.
Agree.
On that note, I'm going to wrap up in about 5 or 10. Yeah. So if anybody needs to ask anything or wants any questions answered from me, just
I have to say
leave a
I'm
comment.
feeling a bit tired now, but it's been great listening in to you guys.
Yeah,
Tired is tied to the red.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The red
we'll
shift.
wrap up.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's all
But
good.
yeah, man.
Finish tonight.
We'll
Yeah,
wrap up.
give it
Yeah,
5
we'll
or
shut
10.
it down. We'll shut
Have you
down.
had a
now,
good
guys.
time, David?
Yeah, it's been really good. We've expressed our intentions for all, and yeah, we've laid it out there when we've said, what we feel, how we see it. We know where we're from, what we do, what we stand for. We have trust. You are all trusted minds and womb men of the realm, and we're conceptualizing now some cutting edge. We're on, the revolution will not be televised. We are in it. We are living it day to day. We are in the court. We're being judged on every action, every deed that you execute has a reaction. There is a law of what is it now? The cause and effect. Yeah, I've mentioned the law of or the principality of
Every action has an opposite and equal reaction. Ooh.
Yeah, where have you come from? Sneaky
Yeah,
eyed
hello.
creator from the
All the
back of the
visitors have gone
sofa.
home. We've got a quiet room again. I felt I couldn't tell them all to be quiet and whatnot. It's quite rude. So
It's just his spirit, he's the
Could
Holy
I
Trinity.
The
do you mind
principle
if
of correspondence. Yeah, go
do you
on.
mind if I need to go? I'm really tired, but it's been really great, David, and it's just great
Have a
listening
nice
to you guys.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, my lady.
You carry on talking. Oh, it's a pleasure. Sorry, I'm a bit quiet. I'm just very tired, but it's been great listening. And anyway,
Thank you for representing. Thank you. Thank you very
it's
much.
brilliant, and I'm so glad that you've all come together. So, mwah to
Thanks.
everybody, and everybody in the
Thanks,
chat room
Karen.
who's been listening.
Thank
Great
you,
to see you
Karen.
again and speak to you again.
Yeah, much love, everybody, and family.
Again to you.
Yeah.
Thank you, David.
You're welcome. Thank you, sister. Much
Hi,
love.
Karen.
Josh. Andy.
Karen, may I give you a
Kevin.
little quote to go to bed with?
Sure.
But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea driven with the wind and tossed.
That almost put me to sleep. That was lush as well.
Bless you. Thank you
Thank
all.
you very
Thank you
much
all.
for that.
Thank you,
Nice.
Andy.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, man.
Bye
When you said
then. Thank you so
See you
much.
soon.
Bye,
See you,
darlings.
sister. Good
Bye,
night.
darlings.
Bless.
Before I
Stay
go,
sovereign.
Dave, when you said the revolution will not be televised, yeah?
Andy, are you still here?
Yes.
Stay here, yeah, because me, you, and Josh need to work something out. We might be on the move tomorrow, yeah, boys, but I don't know. I'm up for it, so we need to arrange something if you're up for it. But yeah, carry on, Josh. I'll speak to you separately, privately after, tomorrow morning or something.
Cool. I was just going to say, you said the revolution will not be televised. They're obviously telling you that the revolution has to come within, yeah? So if you reverse, as in subconscious language, revolution backwards, it says, no, it, you love her, yeah?
What? No, it, you love her. Hang on, let me see.
Go on.
The revolution will not be televised. It's hard to do. I can't do all that in my mind. I can't do. Oh, all right. Yeah, I kind of see it. I can see it. Just go on. Yeah.
So no, it, you love her. So basically, when you become loving, the revolution is happening, mate, within you. And it will not be televised because the revolution will only happen within. Everybody else, whether there's a revolution that is televised, will be following that revolution. And it will not be a revolution within or a divine revolution. It will be another following. And there'll be no freedom. So the revolution can only come within, and you should know it. You love her because you will be a lover, mate.
Who are bumpkins? Who are? Whoa.
yeah.
Well, thank you. It's more like re-evolution that we're going through after we've
Yeah.
gone through such a lawful renaissance of what we've gone through and what we've promoted and publishing and educating now. It seems only logical. Man's mind can only go one way. You cannot unbreak an egg, friends, brothers, sisters. It's the way it is. So now we've got these broken eggs everywhere. Humpty Dumpty. It couldn't. It's not going to happen. So we've got to find a solution of where we're at, because I'm not saying we're all broken eggs, but theoretically your mind, when you do cognize where you're at, there is a little bit of a moment where you're like, okay, then what do we do? And we've got the way out. Initially we didn't have a way out, a remedy, a solution, a maintenance, a cure, and now we've got more than one, we've got multiple. And ultimately, forget the trust, forget the blocks of gold, forget the certificates, and forget all of that. We've got land on ourselves. Why don't we just go with that first? Because that's the logical option, Josh.
Right.
Yeah, it definitely is.
We've been held by a system that we can't see, okay? And there's a chapter in my book, and it simply says, therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not the Son of Man cometh.
Not the
And
Son
this
of
is what's
Man
happening
cometh.
here. This is what's happening here. The corporations. It's the corporations. Man representing the corporation. They've transgressed.
They don't know who they are.
Into the land of the
Deception.
Canaan. This is what's going on here.
They've taken away your ception. You need to be inception, not deception.
That's right. Your inception. You're inward bound.
That's right. Beautiful words, man.
We'll do it. We'll get there. We've got contacts. We've got technology. We've got the ideas. It's the intent, our intent, the fact you've come on and we've done this, you know. Yeah, we've left a mark on the international web of, you know, albeit this tube, but we do need to find other networks next. Brother Albert has given me some ideas to look into about getting onto 15 platforms simultaneously. So, yeah, there's a lot to be going for this year. This is only beginning, isn't it? So I did ask the universe for 10,000 members, you know, and I was being over thinking big. We only ever can think big. That's just, I don't feel silly. It's the 26th of January and we're at 419, I believe. So we're somewhat 600 shy thereabouts of the 10,000 target. But no, great things are happening and we're in a great place and we've got a lot before us. So I'm very proud and happy where we are and where you're at. What everyone's doing in their individual basis and what we're doing collectively shows a lot of promise and it shows a bit of love and light. So times like this, brilliant.
Can I just rewind a bit to the Humpty Dumpty? I think the flaw in the plan there, as I see it, was sending horses in to repair an egg. Because the hoof is not the best egg caressing tool. That really.
That's the problem.
The dexterity of a rhino.
So we could see where they fell down immediately, can't we?
Oh, thank you, Kev. Thank you, brother. Yeah, it's just insane, isn't it? But these are, the clues in plain sight. There's a message there somewhere. What's the message? What's the message, everyone?
all points to one place, mate, and that's home.
There's no place like home.
The spirit of a man will sustain him.
What?
The cat's decided to join in.
Hello.
The spirit of man will meow. Again, start again. Go on.
What? The spirit of a man will sustain his infirmity, but a wounded spirit who can bear.
Yeah, true, so true.
Mm-hmm.
The spirit will drive you, mate. This is the spire, the spirit to inspire, the spiral, the magnetism, the 369, vortex mathematics, magnetism. It's who we are, guys.
In this whirling world around, it's a whirling world of words and swords.
Yeah,
whirling and swirling.
Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Ooh.
Scepter. Beautiful. I've got a scepter. No staff. I've got some kind of funky scepter you can borrow.
I'm off to go and be a philosopher, mate. I'm going to lose my phi. The cipher to lose phi is a philosopher, by the way, guys.
That's right.
The phi lost cipher. The cipher to lose phi. Yeah, man. I'm going to go and hit the astral realms. So it's been a pleasure chatting to you all, and thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, great talking to you, Josh.
Yeah, nice one, mate. Thank you so much. And I'll be on the mobile, mate, Dave, if you want to drop anything about tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll catch up with you soon. Yeah, I'd like to yeah, come down. I've got a bit of shopping to do in the morning and I'm free for mid-morning. Yeah, we'll talk soon. All
We'll
right,
have a
thank you,
chat.
bro. Much
All
love.
right. Well, good night, all. And I look forward to meeting you all and speaking to you all in person, man. So take care. And until then,
In
safe.
persona.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll happen, mate. No worries.
No problem. You keep safe, guys, and speak to you soon. Yeah. Lots of love.
And you, mate. And to you, mate. All the best. Peace and love to you.
Nice one. All right, guys. Bye-bye.
All right. See you later. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Is he gone? Yeah. Thank you. Well, that was interesting, wasn't it?
Yes.
Very, very nice, mate. It's a wealth of knowledge. It's been a great chat.
It's definitely worthy a place on a council of something, an assembly
Yeah,
of minds. Good lad.
you know, somebody actually doing it, you know.
A doer, that's the point. Yeah, we're doers. All of us are doers. That's
what's within. It's a substance over the form. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine understanding, and all the ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. It's all within. We'll our own path, our own foundation. It's all our own understanding, our own perception, isn't it? We come together as a great, massive strength when we're all on the same hymn sheet, singing the same song, and in the same comprehension of understanding here. When they say it's us and them, what that really means.
Yeah, if our mums and dads had have known this, trust me, do you know that they told us, oh, by the way, this is what you need to do when this happens, and when this happens, you've got to say this, and this is what this is for. And bless them, all of the generations before us that have fallen by the wayside into the manipulation, let alone the Hillsborough disasters and other such fallacies that they've brought upon themselves, and the Birmingham Six and the miscarriages of justice and just the crap that's come with it. Do you know that they only started recording statements on in this police station on machines in the early 80s? Up until the late 70s, officers, rank and file officers, used to take a statement, okay, off man, and then they'd go and write stuff like this, and the way that it's been brought to us and what's happened, and those that have entrusted this system have had the piss taken out of them big time, and we owe it to them to correct this and to do what we can to straighten it, not just for them that have fallen and them that have, our blood, that have done, given up to this queen of country, rank and file, and various that we've pointed out, but to our unborn blood, our lineage, that we get
What queen?
this trust, and doing this, because eventually we're going to be private and there'll be no more of this. We'll just have to come and find us. It's getting to that point. It's getting that soon, and it's a crying shame that we're having to do all this work now and pick up the slack in such there's so much going off, there's so much distraction. Karen sent me, Nonna Yomas has sent me a list. She was on about the other day, because I've been talking to her and helping her just sort of bits of paperwork out, and she's like, yeah, what's going on? There's at least 50 things to distract you right now at this minute that are massive, at least.
One God and Father of all, who is above all and through all, is in you all. Oh, you gotta love it, ain't you?
I contain the essence of the creator, but I am not the creator.
That's right. Within.
I'm made in his image, but I'm made in the image of, but I am not it. Yeah.
He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed.
Yes, true.
Very true. Yeah.
Wisdom is not heard by the fools, is it?
No matter how loud you speak it.
Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they are of God, because many false prophets are gone out into the world.
Yeah. Ain't that the truth? It right there.
We're everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
A solicitor is a
He's
false prophet.
telling you.
Mm. A judge is a false prophet, really, because he's not a judge, you know, a lower de facto. And
Who shall
solicitor,
separate us from the love of Christ? Shall
counsel.
tribulation or distress, or persecution or famine, or nakedness or peril or sword?
It's all false prophets. Everything's false. It's not what you think it is.
It's all
That's the
written
reality.
exactly. It's all written in front of us, mate. It's just a
No,
load of bar. It's dead.
they're not who they say they are. The departments aren't who they say they are. It's all private. The whole thing. The whole thing. There's lots of people, deceivers, set out in the world, isn't there?
Yeah, but to set up a police force, a national, you know, police force, rank and file officers, and not have them trained in law, and to call it law, how thick do they think we are? Do they really think that this would wash forever? You know, we are law abiding, and you know, all of the you know, things that we should be honourable and following the Ten Commandments, and to some extent obedient, but we are not subservient in any way and subject to. We are not subjects and loyal subjects, no way. And you know, our property, our assets at these trusts and academies are not to be isolated or sanctioned or disciplined in any way, no shape or form. You know, how far do they want to take this? How far are you willing to gamble your freedoms or liberties or even rights, as we would say? This is what we're saying here. It's getting to beyond a joke. And when it gets to like biblical references and biblically bonded, that's quite serious. That's as serious as it gets. You know, it doesn't get much serious. And when you've got an angry, jealous God watching above you, woe betide you.
Yeah.
He has favorites and everything. He tells you in the book. And his favorites were, what do you mean he has favorites? And he was a jealous, angry God. Are you joking me? All right. I don't want to meet this one then. I'd rather just not see him. Thanks.
Thou
Reading
shalt
what
have no gods before me. Very first commandment. Oh, bit of insecurity creeping in there already.
Be not deceived, my brethren. God is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap.
Yeah, what you do and what you reap is, yeah, what you happen, what we've said in life, what your actions are,
Absolutely.
reactions, cause and effect again.
Faith. Now faith is the substance of all things hoped for, the evidence of things never seen. That's what faith is. We've been imposed by something that we can't see. The hand behind the veil is imposing itself on us, you know.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
our faith, you know, it's within us. We have to have that vision, we have to have that feeling that within us, the strength, you know, not the fear. Turn it around.
It's not easy though. It's not easy for man in these circumstances with families and commitments and bosses, and even at work. What happens at work when you get told off or you've had too many sick days? You have to go in for a disciplinary hearing, and it's like, what's going on? I'm being disciplined. Disciplines again and hearings. It's all courts and legal side of it. You've only had some days off and been sick, but according to the statistics, you now need to go to a stage one disciplinary hearing, which may lead to ultimately to a dismissal. Well, I've had the shits for 2 weeks. I'm ever so sorry about that. It's taken me over the Richter scale at work, and now I'm having to have an interview, back to return work interview, and answer all these intrusive questions into your life. It's getting beyond a joke. Even corporations like your employer,
Yeah.
his life. It's bad enough with
Fight the
the
good fight
government.
of faith. Lay hold on eternal life, whereunto thou art also called, and hast professed a good profession before many witnesses. Ooh. That's how you speak of it right there, Dave.
And verse is it? I am not familiar, my good man.
For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of sound mind.
Nobody's
Don't
born
be
with
put
fear.
off.
Fear is something you learn. Yeah, go on.
Don't be put off, mate. That's what I'm saying. We're taught the Canaan way. We're taught to be transgressors. We're taught to be a person. We're taught to all them rules that we believe that are ours. You know, we're taught all these things because we haven't.
Pardon me, I don't believe any baby is born angry.
Scripture. You know, we haven't been put in the right direction. We haven't been put on the right path. We've been told fairy tales all our lives.
I don't think any baby is born with anxiety, fear, or anger. I think these are systems that are developed within us through the chemical toxins, the drugs,
Vaccination,
and then the TV and the media, the parents, how they are and then how you go to school. Yanka tells me there's a woman at school that always shouts. I'm like, what do you mean? She's on as a teacher. It's not very nice. She always shouts. It sounds like she don't need to be teaching and she always shouts. She's obviously got a problem. Self-control for one. Oh, I'm going to shout at 12-year-olds all day, every day. What the hell? That's not normal. How's that carrying on? You know, what's going on in the world? Carry on, Andy. Got any more?
Oh, bloody loads, mate.
Got a bookload of them.
He that have an ear, let him hear what his Spirit has said unto the churches. To him that overcometh will I give to eat the tree of life, which is in the middle of the paradise of God.
King's hand, not being a person, using the king's hand, autographing some shit, claiming something in the name of grantor of dominion.
That's what it's all about, the name of.
Yeah, and it just.
And shall put my spirit into you, and ye shall live, and I shall place you in your own land. Then shall ye know that I, the Lord, have spoken it. It performed it, said the Lord. Of the land. It's all they say. Yes, my Lord.
I'm just going to turn my mic off for a minute because I'm going back outside into the elements.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Well, it's
bless you,
0003, and it is quite late. So on that note, seriously, no, I'm gonna do one depart. God bless everybody. As I say, one love, and keep it real.
And you, bro.
He's gone. He's actually
That's
just
it.
gone. Didn't even get a chance to say goodbye.
He's still here. You know, the spirit of Andy's all around us at all times.
Put it on. He might stealth back in a lot, but yeah, keep your mark on.
Yeah.
It's only me and D now. It's all right. The wind's gone.
Oh, that's it. Are you sorted?
Yeah, we've achieved what we need to achieve. We've outlined a proposal. We've presented the assembly and what we can do. What we do. Yeah.
Put the word out. Let's see if people come back with skill. I'm sure there's plenty of skills between everybody. That's something the last thing I'd be worried about is we should know that from the hive mind, the sort of people we've got around us here. So hopefully, but yeah, it's you know, it'd be nice to do something even on a small scale and make it a reality. Let's see what we can come up with between us all, maybe.
Camp Sovereign, hi campers, for real.
We'll have
the lot.
You can do the radio show at the camp.
Oh, come on, that's it. Sovereigns in the cabins, all parked up. School sovereign. You can have SPLs junior. We can have the local. We can have whatever. Yeah, school education. In fact, we go to education and plants.
Yeah, as I say, you know, it'd be nice to my idea is to get this
freedom project
to my grandchildren and beyond.
Yeah, sovereign freedom project. Claim land.
Me now, I realise what's going on. I want to save them from it.
You don't want to live in the cities, really. You want to be living somewhere, leave your possessions and everything, get rid of them, and go out into the community, into the forests, equivalent of forest. Because if you stay in the cities and you stay in Babylon, you're going to share in with her sins. And that's what I'm telling Anne-Marie. We don't want to be getting a property anywhere in the city. We need to be looking out somewhere quiet and maybe rent somewhere or get something asset-wise, but not actually be clever about it, but not live anywhere where there's any danger and drugs and society and, you know, things like what we're seeing in the cities now. It's getting very, very fraught. We'll say there is a lot of have-nots kicking around, and they're increasing. It's not fair. Nobody should be denied water, access, housing. Nobody. We're all creditors and lovely, warm, men of the realm, and that's it. Nobody should be starving. No, it's not just about a remedy for England and Anglo. It's a remedy for the whole world. To be fair, we're all due what we was given, and if it's been taken from us deceptively, it's an example so we could roll it out elsewhere. If this works, this would be like a Venus project versus an Ubuntu versus some kind of Lord of the Flies versus it's got a lot. It's got a lot encapsulated into it. So independence, these things ejecting from a commercial den of sin is something which the great book tells you created this crazy idea. It's actually we're following instructions, and this is the last thing that and when I bumped into Josh and he was saying about the field cabins potential, I'm like, well, that's what we're talking about. Common unit is, and everybody pooling resources and a universal non-sectarian remedy for all. We don't need the system. We just thought if there's a pot of gold and some things and some land and we do it and the creator gave it us, then we'll take that, thank you. But whilst they're resisting giving it us and we're trying to fathom out how the hell, then we might just want to dive into the,
Yeah, I'm sure that we can make things happen. It might take a little while, but the trouble, that's the problem, isn't it? Time's one thing we possibly have got very little of
it's all good
in the big picture, but
it's better than sitting
at least
there
we're striving for something and trying to get some direction and I certainly think we've got the right people together through the group. So everybody that's involved in the family land and all the rest of it, they're all of like mind, certainly similar.
There are things you can do with immediate. There are things we've said tonight that you're right, Kev. Sorry to cut in, but
no, that's all right,
mate. With immediate effect that will help his life get better. Then there are other things you can do that will, slowly improve. But there's a lot to be taken in. To be fair, it's not a fast journey, but if you invest some time and effort, you will find the energy will return itself in many ways. And losing the fear is a great thing. Let me tell you, it really is.
Yeah. No, it is. It is great. As I say, that when you first start getting involved in it, is maybe a bit, trepidatious about what's going on or doing it yourself or having a go. But once you start seeing what power you can have, it's great. Especially if you've done a little bit of studying. It's not rocket science. You might need to read through some stuff 2 or 3 times. Look at words. Look at what they mean. Start, as I say, it's easy. Then you start understand. Say you read letters that arrive in a completely different way when you learn about a few words, especially on the legal side and that sort of thing. You start reading letters and they mean something completely different now, and that helps in every aspect of your life when you're learning, writing or learning anything to do with language or anything that's improving your knowledge is a bonus across the whole spectrum of your life. So. And it doesn't take long, you haven't got to spend weeks.
We're going to the equivalent of the common law equivalent here. If we're not having to do that because that's their society, their rules, their doctrine, their establishment. So we don't recognise that anymore. We don't interface with it. We don't use it, and we get the remedy, maintenance, and cure, and we go away and we be quiet. That's the offer on the table. Let's go and have a chat about
we look after ourselves and anybody around us, and we upset nobody, and on life goes, and everybody's generally happy, I should imagine, and producing for each other on that sort of basis.
A class action lawsuit maybe, or something where everyone signs up and we just go lay claim, and we lay claim massively on all the estates and just chuck them all into one and say, hey, these guys get paid out, and this is the lead claimant. And we're all going to do a class action lawsuit, and whatever happens here, we accept and follow. And and we get the remedy, maintenance, and cure in private, non-disclosure deals, whatever, chancery court sorted out, leveled, then obviously we would take it, create a master trust, put them trusts within trusts, make sub trusts, and then give them and divvy them out. Obviously that's you know, these are the options at hand. Never mind going crypto and getting these digital cards and coins and wow, giving life to something again that is dead
Well,
and fictional.
it's the control, isn't it? It's not, you know, it's going to be run by the same bastards that are running it now anyway, ultimately. Come on.
If there is no rest, maintenance, remedy, cure estates and that they're going to hand over, then that's it. We'll do it ourselves and we'll look after ourselves. But
Well, I think this is what you're saying, a class action or a mass action, whatever you want to call it, is probably a way. Why not? At least you could pull a load of good minds together as well for the fight.
oh yeah, like 250,000 of us or something. Yeah,
That'd be. That's, you know,
Leave
this is the sort of movement everybody needs. It's got to be big. It's got to be en masse. It's got to not, you know, I'm not saying, you know, that obviously non-violent, all the rest of it, but this is what is needed, is a mass movement to really try and make, you know, make people aware of what's going on.
We need one of the newspapers to put in a little test saying, "Are you sovereign? Yes or no?" We need to do like a sovereign test on the .com.
Yeah.
Collect everybody, white van men and everybody, and then just start saying, "This is the idea. Are you able to grasp this?"
Yeah, but then you get a lot of people coming back saying, "Yes, I'm a sovereign citizen," and you would go, "Oh, okay, that's missed the point."
Yeah, I know, but each, you know, we can enlighten all along the way.
Yeah.
They'll soon find a way. It's a thought, just that spark first of all. But
I'm sorry, I forgot. I'm back outside again, so I hope it's not too windy. I can't hear
no,
what
it's
you
fine.
can hear.
No, it's not windy. No, it's good. The dead of the night. It's still. Yeah, so there's a lot of distraction. There's a lot of distractions going on.
Oh, yeah.
We're focused well.
Yeah,
good
but I
chat,
say
and
that's about distraction. Distraction is what's going on. That's all it is. Toys. We're bread and circuses.
bread and cheese.
Yeah,
Wow.
give them bread and circuses, and the people are happy. That's it. Bit of Colosseum and something to eat. They're happy.
Yeah, well, football and that's only good for so long.
Exactly.
Formula
Same thing.
Sex boxes, PlayStations.
Yeah.
They distract us for so long, but there's still starving children, women, foreign war
Tea
policy,
that's the modern.
homelessness. Yeah, you know, things falling down, burning, economies crashing. But we all think it's, you know, leave it to the ones that are in power, the elected authorities.
Yeah, well, it's because of them. It's where it is. That's the thing that don't grasp. The people that we're trusting with the economy and put the economy where it is.
Billions going missing. What? How do you
missing? Yeah, we know where they're going missing. Finchley Road, offshore, you name it.
We let it happen. We foot the bill.
Yeah, that's the worst thing. It's our money for all this bullshit that's going on. You know, it's like something the other day was very poignant. There's no such thing as government funded. It's funded by us.
What about this one? Yeah, you're right. Bang on. How can a bank bail out a country? How the hell does a bank bail out a country? I don't get it. How this is wrong. It should be a country bailing out a bank. A bank should never have the power, status to bail out a country. A bank now owns a country. Are you shitting me? What? How?
Unfortunately not.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm reading these stories like, so and you think now that you own that country because you did a stupid deal with bits of paper. Amazing, absolutely incredible. It's pure magician's work. Just genius, it really is. I'm like, so a bank bails out a country and now it owns it. All right, then okay.
Witchcraft of the highest order, believe me. It really is.
We're not daft.
No,
they're our family. We may not live in them countries, but that policy, you know, you tolerate dictatorship, you tolerate anything like that, it will come to you. It will come.
Yeah. You're right there, mate.
It starts with minorities. It starts with Hungary, slave laws, Africa, Libya, wherever, Afghanistan, Iraq, all these places, Syria, and it's like, oh wow, it's just there's always something somewhere happening, something busy to be doing, and the names that they give it, the ISIS and Osiris, ISIS connection, and what's gone off here, it's not good. It's really not good. There's a lot of land. There's the man-made scarcity. There's a lot of food,
It's
and
ridiculous.
we could house
Hey,
everybody if we tried. I'm sure
a
we
few
could.
years ago, we had butter mountains and you name it. Well, what's all that now? Where's all that gone? Well, what's that just being paid not to be grown anymore? I mean, we were a farming bloody nation, for Christ's sake. What's going on? Industry, everything. It's all been taken from us. They knew our power. That's why it's all been sucked away from us.
Yeah, if you control the seed, you control the man because you control
Mm-hmm.
the food. Yeah.
This has gone on over many, many years. This is we're all uncovering this. This is goes back decades, hundreds of years, but it's evolved as it's moved on, and we've got a massive battle on our hands.
Yeah, agriculture was the saving grace. One of the, and
Sorry.
through my discoveries and research, agriculture was given to us by the star gods, and it enabled us to move on in civilization, because of the food and how much we could feed and grow. Obviously, bigger families, bigger cities, more abundance of food. There's stories about oxygen levels being different and, animals and man being huge and giants back then. But yeah, the agriculture, the farming side of it, given to us. We didn't always farm and apparently have agriculture. I know history is all a lie and we're relearning everything. But there are, tablets and stories of certain communities, civilizations of past yesteryear, and how they started farming and what they're doing with rice and fields and stuff, and how it enhanced. And look what we're doing now. Yeah, we're absolutely not doing the normal things. Mother Nature tells you take a seed, put it in some mud, give it a nutrient, look after it, and we'll do the rest. And then it just comes to fruition, and you have something then to eat through the winter months, and you've got a reward. So, as we've said in life with nature, that's a good example. A seed principle: plant that seed, look after it, nurture it, water it, and get the fruits from that seed, and then nature gives you a little reward. The fruits are the reward from the seed. So in
Yeah.
an actions in life, you do a good action, you'll get a reward, and can't tell you what it will be, but it always benefits you. Yeah.
I'll tell you what it'd be. I'll tell you what your reward would be. The bastards that be spraying the fucking skies with shit that's going to come down on what you're trying to grow. That's your reward.
Well, yeah, that's another thing with these energy farms, and that there's argumentation, legal argumentation, to say that man is being stripped of an income and robbed of, if this is man-made greyness, then the man-made greyness is responsible for loss of earnings, and as such, those responsible must pay, provide the remedy now to the problem they've created.
Yeah, well, that's the fight. We got a fight on our hands, but yeah, it should be. That's exactly what should happen. But it's just disgusting, the scale of it, everything. It's unbelievable
No,
what's happening.
I better go and look at the chat room now because I've been away wandering, and let's go and see what's going on.
Yeah, I'm outside. I had the chat room on my other phone, but that's indoors at the moment.
37, 20 past 12. Yeah, it's not bad. We've done well here. Had a busy chat room. We've covered good topics. David Johnson, we watch chat. The blue ones watch the chat. Kevin has brought many remedy with ESA claims from brother Albert. Yes, I.
Thanks, Albert.
Well, I'm tired now, thank goodness. Come to the end. We almost sort of been gone on 3 hours, I think. Yeah, because we started.
Yeah, we've done.
So 3 hours.
Yeah, just pushing that a little. Just nearly 3.5 now.
What we got here? Selene Lion. That's a new subscriber, I think. Thank you very much. Are we on about Kevin? No, on about Kevin is the other guy talking. And we're shutting down now, David, brother David, because we've been going 3 hours 20 minutes. Man's tired, but next time you're on, yeah. If you catch us a bit earlier, you can come on, brother. Not a problem. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
sorry,
you.
mate. It's say we're just on the wind down now. Still, that could
Yeah,
be
cool.
another hour.
No, it's not. Yeah, email David at splspro.com to give me information, contact. It may take me a week to get back to you. It may take me 2 weeks, but I'm just one man with lots to do. So be patient, and I'll get in touch. And thank you.
Can you,
Go
Dave?
on,
You
Kev.
asked about a link for me earlier.
Yeah,
What
I
do you
need.
mean, my channel? Do you mean on YouTube?
Yeah,
Oh, I have got one, but it's not public at the
yeah,
moment.
that's all right.
There's
And yeah,
nothing,
I don't want
on
you
it. I'll open it up, but there's nothing on it. To be honest, a couple of probably the DWP videos and stuff like that.
No,
Maybe
yeah, I just didn't want to
I
be
don't
rude.
know.
That's
No,
all.
but can't you get hold of me through
.com.
.com? Yeah, but I don't know what you set me
On
up there, Dave.
Facebook. Yeah, Facebook.
Yeah,
You can get you on Facebook.
You'll see me
You
with the
got to,
paralegal logo. That's me, Kevin Phillips.
but you got to be aware that Facebook, you're not obliged and obligated. You just said that you're tired from overexerting yourself.
Yeah, I'm having a bit of I've done a year basically. I mean, that's basically when I started with a friend of mine back sort of last January it was. So, and then I've been involved in other stuff, and I've actually ended up neglecting some of my own. But yeah, my health's taken a bit of a dive over it. I took too much on, so I'm one of these people. I just want to help everybody. I can't help myself, and even when I know that I'm not 100%, I just I find myself going, "Oh, I'll help." But it's whacked it out of me. But I've really got to take care of some of my own business at the moment that I've neglected for 7 months nearly, which is it doesn't really matter. But I shouldn't have left it that long. But it's just the way it's gone. So yeah, I need to step away, sort of, and sort my own stuff out, which is what I'm doing at the moment. I'm around, I'm there, and I'll respond, of course, to anybody.
The aim of the game is for us to, and I can speak on your behalf on this as well, is to stop repeating time after time. It's not that we don't want to or we think we're better than you. It's just that it gets tiring and we're getting older and time can be used better. So the things that we've done and we've done over and over that gave the same continuous result, we put down and we archive it and we put down the documents for download and the forums are there and the social networking and so forth to chat and correspond with each other and inform yourselves of the options and the techniques and the revisions at hand to any processes and instruments and interfaces of which we do with the persons. And we interface on the commercial intercourse, isn't it? Is what they say there, and we manage it and we put it down so we don't have to keep repeating it. And then when we get 300 messages a month, 190 of their messages can go straight to the automated responses, and they can do it themselves rather than I don't offer a service anymore or a representation service. It's just that we can inform and help to some extent, but you can't. There's too many of them out there, for us to actively assert, time to help when it's all for free and for the grace of goodness and under the grace of God. And it's like it's too much. And then you've got the liability if you inform somebody and they do something and it goes wrong, then you've got to clear up all the messes. And it's like when you're not getting anything back and there's no benefit, it consumes you. It really does. And you do learn at the same time. Don't get me wrong, you learn so much, don't you? But yeah, it's a torrent. It's a torrent. You can't do. You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. If you get me.
Oh, it's mentally and physically exhausting when becomes physical, which that certainly does for me. Just the how much thought process when you're putting stuff together, think about what you're saying and blah blah blah. I mean, it becomes easier the more you do it. That's the best thing to do. Is get stuck in, and then you learn it by doing it. That's the best way.
The best way is not to be in this system and not to have been bonded.
Well,
in this
absolutely.
system and not to be having to learn this.
But should you have to?
Yeah, no, I'm not getting on it because
no, I know you're not.
It's just what they've done. It's just unforgivable.
Yeah,
it really is unforgivable.
Nothing to do with it whatsoever. Thank you very much. go away. Unfortunately, some of us have to utilize the person.
I know.
You know,
I'm just saying, yeah. Just
yeah,
trying to
yeah. I did.
respect.
You know, you weren't. You know where I stand. Foot on each.
Yeah, brown stuff.
If
Yeah,
I
let's
have,
say. Yeah,
if I
thank you.
have to, then I have a foot in each camp. Otherwise, I stand as Kevin, man.
Well,
And
let's
that's
see where
it.
this ends up. So we got the contacts sorted out. We know where we're at. We know what we want to do. Let's see what the next few weeks bring us. I'll
Yeah,
update you all. We'll have some more hangouts booked in, and I'm still waiting for brother, brother, what's he called now? Stowe Villa to get back in touch. So
yeah.
hopefully he'll send me an email and let me know he's free, and we'll get back on it. But I'm going to take some time away from Cam and focus on other projects and things, and update you in a few days' time. Yeah.
Excellent stuff. Yeah, thanks everybody that's still in the chat room. Been a really great crowd tonight. Good numbers, still good numbers as far as I'm concerned this time of night. Yeah, thanks very much. And hopefully we'll hook up again soon and talk about something else, or maybe the same, just more.
Yeah. This is it. This is a big job. We need to assemble these, the assembly of not so much alphas, but just all of us getting together, communities, and realizing and seeing what we've got, our capabilities, resources, where the vulnerabilities are, where we haven't got protection, not just the less abled that you can see are immediately vulnerable. We're all legally disabled from the offset, financially disabled, spiritually disabled. So there's a lot of handicaps out there within man, not knowing who you are and your status, standing, and capacity, and the God side of it, religion, cursive language. It's very deep, and so thank you all for helping out and doing your part, having the faith, and putting up with us, entertaining you as it is. Yeah, cheers, Kevin.
Yeah,
Rob,
no
Karen,
worries.
yeah, Sister Karen, Josh,
Yeah,
Andrew,
everybody tonight.
Andy.
Yeah, Josh was great. Andy, it was great. Andy back on, stealing all the limelight, the bastard.
Yeah, sweet. It's a family affair, basically. Our house is in the middle of your street. If you tolerate this, then your children, they will be next. And it's been written to you, it's been put out there. Musicians have tried to say it, if you believe they put a man on the moon, wow, yeah. Well, I could go on forever. So many songs that you just, you look back on as a mature man, I'd like to think now, semi-mature
Yeah.
man, semi-mature, and you think, I used to listen to this tune. I must have heard this tune and DJ'd it 500 times. But this one time, at the age of 40, these words now mean something to me. But how could they not mean something to me for 499 times over the last 20 years? And then suddenly, do you know, this really cracks my head when I'm like, I've played this tune loads and I've not always been drunk or off me napper and whatever. I've played it and I've listened to it, and none of these choruses, words, sentences like stood out to me, the message within it. And then suddenly you're like, okay, then I was that distracted. The obvious stares you in the face and shouts at you and screams, and you can't see him. You can't but see it, lad. And then you do see something, or you learn stuff, and you're like, actually, I feel a bit silly now because I should have noticed that. But you're not silly. It's just deep, dark stuff that we are trusting, souls. We have a lot of trust, and that's our weakness. That this system, that is based on trust, and the currency is trust, and we trust as your youth, and we are. Look at Jamie Bulger and the Killers. There, he was at taking. I'm not sorry to bring up a dark thing at the end of the thing cast, but. Some kids took him and they took him out of a shopping centre within 3 minutes, and he was disappeared and gone.
Oh yeah.
That kid is on videos holding another kid's hand in trust, and then little did he know where he was going and what was going to happen. But I'm sorry, I'm just telling you though, I've got to be real with shit. I need to be real.
Now, mate. Up on the bookshelf now. Yeah,
It's been in the TV. It's been in the news again. Sorry, it's on my mind, but there you go. It's relevant. That kid trusted that kid, and then he ended up dead. We won't go any more deeper in that, but that's how it is. There's only trust here, and this system took our trust and our kindness, and it took it for weakness, and then it just laughed at us. And when it comes to the seriousness of what you're all seeing now, and it doesn't need us to glorify it on a YouTube presentation late at night, we don't need to add any effects to it. It's already abhorrent and apparent. So the next logical step is, art thou with I? And we'll leave it there, brother. Yeah, thank you, and much love to all.
No worries. Yeah, great night. Good night, everybody. All the best to everyone. Speak soon.
Yes, Kev, you're a living legend. Thank you. Thank you to all, and
Thanks, Dave.
all that was on.
And you, mate.
All right, let's go. Let's exit.
Cheers.
Stay sovereign. Much love, brother. Let's go. See you all. Thank you.